All right, it's game day. You only got one job to do. That's win. That means you stay focused for 4 quarters. Know your assignments and finish on every play. Don't be looking for shortcuts, and don't even think about making excuses. Because if you want the W, you're going to have to earn it.
And a very pleasant good evening, football fans, and welcome to Baker Gator High School Football, the playoffs, round 2 on WTJT 90.1 FM and on JockJive.com. Tonight, we are live from Baker, Florida, inside a very warm press box inside Doug Griffith Memorial Stadium, home of the Baker Gators. Tonight is the second round of the playoffs, and the Baker Gators are hosting a familiar opponent, the Northview Chiefs. 4 weeks ago, the Gators stomped the Chiefs 35-7. Can they do it one last time this season? Or have the Chiefs found a way to stop Junior McLaughlin and this high-powered Baker offense and a very greedy Gator defense? Stay tuned. Baker, Northview, round 2 is all coming up next.
One of our sponsors this year for our live coverage of Baker Gator varsity football is Wise Equipment in Crestview. Wise Equipment specializes in sales and services of Kubota and John Deere mowers and tractors. They carry Steel and John Deere chainsaws, line trimmers, and blowers. Plus, they have John Deere toys. All products are backed by a manufacturer's warranty. Wise Equipment is located at 1147 South Ferdon Boulevard in Crestview and can be reached at 850-682-3366.
We are proud to acknowledge the support of Whitehurst Powell Funeral Home in Crestview. They are a family-owned and operated funeral home, open 7 days a week, and can handle all funeral needs. Plus, they offer advanced planning. Whitehurst Powell is also home to the Southern Heritage Crematory. They are located at 436 James Lee Boulevard, and the phone number is 850-682-3052. Owner Andy Powell is committed to caring for you in your time of need, and is also proud to help make coverage of Baker Gator football possible.
And a very pleasant good evening, football fans, and welcome once again to Baker Gator High School football. It's round 2 of the playoffs. I'm Mark Forehand, all set to bring you the exciting play-by-play action of tonight's playoff game between the Baker Gators and the Northview Chiefs. And with me once again, as he has been the entire season, my son Seth. And Seth, once again, good to be teamed up with you once more on this cool night in Baker.
Yeah, it's great to be here tonight. Looking forward to another exciting game between Baker and Northview. It's kind of interesting that it's the second round of the playoffs, and it's also the second round of Gators versus Chiefs, so it's going to be a good night.
Indeed it is, Seth. In fact, it was just 4 weeks ago, October 19th, when Baker hosted Northview, and in fact, a game that began close. In the end, Baker pulled away, won 35-7, and looked to do it again. We are just about set for the national anthem before tonight's game, and we're going to try to bring you that live momentarily. In fact, we'll go ahead and do that now if you want to, Seth. I'll see what I can do to help us bring tonight's national anthem to our listeners.
Yeah, certainly, and you will be hearing the Baker High School Marching Band, The Sound of the Swamp, as they perform our national anthem.
And that, of course, our national anthem as performed by the Baker High School Marching Band. Well, once again, it is the round two of the playoffs, Baker Northview. But Seth, to get here, last week Baker faced another very familiar opponent. In fact, one of their oldest rivals, the Freeport Bulldogs, a game that Coach Brunson summed up as our number 2, Junior McLaughlin, versus their number 2, Brandon Seipels. And after 48 minutes, it was mostly Junior and very little Brandon as the Gators chained the Bulldogs 49-21. Your comments on last week's game?
Yeah, last week the Gators just started to run away with that one early. We actually had a running clock early in the third quarter. The Gators just looked like a team possessed. Rockwell had a great game passing, 2 for 2 through the air, 21 yards. He also had 2 carries for 31 yards and a TD. Interesting that the Gators hit a season-high 7 touchdowns. All 7 were rushing touchdowns. So 49 points, 7 touchdowns total, all rushing. Defense, however, gave up the most that they've given up all season at 21 points, 3 touchdowns. A couple of flukes there near the end, a botched onside recovery. The Gators mishandled that onside kick, and Freeport, of course, recovered and then would have a final drive that gave them 21 points. But otherwise, McLaughlin having a career night as always, just 18 carries, but 284 yards and 4 touchdowns, which put him over the 2,000-yard mark on the season. So Junior just having an absolutely stellar final season. This senior year just going out with an absolute bang. And then he had some great players on defense that continue to make great plays. And your leading tacklers, Cole Metz, Williams, Madaleska, and Brunson just putting up stellar numbers. So the Gators really looked great last week. Penalties were still an issue. 9 penalties, 75 yards, something that they're really going to have to iron out as they move towards the end of playing teams in Region 1 and have to face some of these teams from 2, 3, and 4, farther east and down south. But other than that, the Gators had a great week last week, and we'll see how they fare against Northview second time around.
Yeah, and speaking of Junior McLaughlin, I believe he now has not just over 2,000, but over 2,100 yards. And now you look back, 2 games, the Joshua Christian Academy game, a win by forfeit. Cancellation of the Chipley game due to Hurricane Michael. We played those 2 games, and he would hit 2,000 yards sooner, I believe, and no telling what. But it goes, all those stats you gave goes right back to those 5 guys up front, that offensive line.
Yep.
Taylor Barrow, Carter Mason, Dustin Oglesby, Gavin Vaccarello, and Zach Mason. Not just providing holes for him to run through, Seth, but those guys keep on going downfield to look for somebody else to hit, because as an offensive lineman, you enjoy hitting somebody to that whistle blows and then some.
And that's what you do, and that is what contributes to your stats. And there is a stat that we have for them that the coaches have actually posted up, and that is pancake blocks. And I'm going to explain this for some reviewers that may not know what that is. So a pancake block is when the offensive lineman has such an impressive, powerful block that he actually puts the defender on his back, flattens him out like a pancake. And so talking about those guys, your leader in pancake block, Zach Mason with 26, followed by Dustin Oglesby with 22, and then Carter Mason and Vaccarello with 13 and 12 respectively. So those guys, like you said, they like to hit, and they hit so hard that defenders are falling on their backs because they're taking such a brute force from these offensive linemen. So, yeah, I'm sure Junior would be the first to tell you that, hey, it starts with my offensive line. They're the ones that have gotten me here. And
also, I was curious, I don't know if you have this stat available, but quarterback Peyton Rockwell, I don't believe he's been sacked this season. I'm not sure.
That I don't have. That's a curious stat, and he hasn't dropped back to pass, but 32 times all season, so there hasn't been many opportunities to sack him. But even in those opportunities, he has been given great time just because this offensive line has such great awareness during pass protection as well.
And another stat that we was curious about, I talked to you earlier about, was Junior McLaughlin. What is the longest run he's had without scoring? We've seen him make some pretty long runs, 30, 40 yards without scoring, and that'd be another fun stat to find out. We were just about set for the coin toss between Baker and Northview. The Gators decked out in maroon with helmets, jerseys, and pants, and the white numbers. Northview is in their white jerseys with the gold numbers and gold pants. Team captains for Baker is Peyton Rockwell, Bradley Inscore, Taylor Barrow, and Brian Holly. And Seth, Northview got here by way of defeating Graceville last week.
Correct.
40-14.
Mm-hmm.
Another game that might have been closer, but in the end, after 4 quarters, the Chiefs, they simply tamed the Tigers 40-14 to force this rematch between Baker and Northview. Now, it's not just a cliche, Seth, but it's also a fact that it's tough to beat the same team twice in 1 year. Not impossible,
right,
but hard. You see it at the NFL level, at the college level, where a conference championship or even a bowl game, and then obviously here, numerous times Baker has already, last week playing Freeport. They didn't play him in the season, but they had played him before. But last year they had played Jay in the season and played him in the first round. And now tonight facing Northview again. And, in 4 weeks, don't know if the Chiefs have found an answer to stop, as we mentioned earlier, Junior McLaughlin or the rest of this high-powered offense, or more importantly, have scored on a very greedy Gator defense. I mean, this defense, the most points they allowed last week was 21, and really those last 2 touchdowns, no offense, but it was put on after first team was pulled out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right.
Nonetheless, now we'll talk about this later on, but a very inspiring story from Northview as one of their key players, defensive end, Dereonte Richardson. In fact, he was the defensive player of the game last week versus Graceville. Yeah. Had 8 tackles, 3 for loss, and a sack. But the next morning in his home after breakfast suffered a heart attack. He was hospitalized. Now, according to head coach Derek Marshman, he's improving each day steadily, which is good news. Yeah, he's still in the hospital and has not been released as of yet. So this has really just inspired the Northview team and community. And, in fact, tonight they plan to honor Dereonte Richardson. Of course, on a personal note, our prayers, our thoughts certainly go out to this young man. It puts things into perspective.
Absolutely.
And we really want to see him released from the hospital and do well. And so that's going to be an inspiration to this Northview team to come out and play even harder against Baker. But nonetheless, it's going to be set on the gridiron, and we're just about set for the game between Baker and Northview. Any more thoughts before we kick off this game?
Yeah, just continue on what you said about that. That's one of those stories that supersedes football. It's more important. This is camaraderie. These are brothers that are now honoring their teammate who has suffered this, and I'm sure that they're going to be fighting extra hard for him tonight. And like we said, as it supersedes football, everybody in the stadium tonight, our thoughts and prayers are with Dereonte Richardson and wish him a speedy recovery.
Exactly. And win or lose, we certainly are thinking about the Richardson family and Dereonte, and win or lose, we want him to come out of the hospital and just get along excellently.
Yes, 100%.
We are just about set. As we said, the Chiefs lost the coin toss. The Gators have deferred, and as they have done the entire season, will be kicking off to the Northview Chiefs. Brian Holly set to kick off, and Pooch kicked most of the regular season, but Seth during the last week's game actually kicked it straight away numerous times. Now he looks to be set for a Pooch kick, and we'll find out here in just a moment. There's the whistle, and we're set. Baker, Northview, round 2 of the playoffs. And it is a Pooch kick. Fair catch is called for, but it will go out of bounds about the 35-yard line. Fair catch called for by Rayvon Bush. So, Seth, we are set. And as last week, the first part of the week has been a lot of rain. And as you mentioned, last week's game against Freeport, the grass monster tripped up several runners on both teams.
Might have been the leading tackler, honestly, last week.
I believe so. And I would not be surprised to see it again. I'm sorry, go ahead, Seth.
Yeah, something else I wanted to mention. You asked if they'd made any improvements in the last 4 weeks. Well, since losing to Baker, they have outscored opponents 145-35. So offense still kicking. We'll see what they do.
Spread offense goes to Northview, and running back, I believe that's number 3, Daniel Merritt, in the round, and he gets about 15 yards. And it's brought down about midfield by the Gator defense. That was actually number 1, Tyler Ray, with the carry.
Yeah, and Ray with a great run, coming to this near side, following a great block by his right tackle, just immediately gets into the Gator secondary before he's able to be pulled down. And so a nice first down run.
Yeah, 1st and 10, Northview at the Baker 48. And this time handoff goes to Jaden Jackson, left side. He's across the 40, 35. He's still going. And finally forced out of bounds on the far side by Derek Peoples and Bradley Inscore. But two back-to-back first down runs for Northview and Seth. They have looked impressed that they have come here. This is a winner moves on, loser goes home scenario. And Northview, they're playing pretty darn well right now. They're down to the 30-yard line. So they have gone about 45 yards in 2 plays.
Yeah, same play just flipped, and that time Jaden Jackson to the far side and gets a great run.
And it's Ray again this time, right side, but he stopped quickly by that Gator defense. Looks like Devin Jordan may have been there to put a lick on him, along with Joe Brunson and the rest of that Baker defense. And it's no gain, second down 10 for Northview from their 30-yard line, 11 minutes to go in this opening quarter.
And that time, Merritt trying to get a zone run going, but the Gator defense able to break through their blocks on this carry and bring Merritt down for a no gain.
Another handoff up the middle. And it's going to be a short gain as he runs into a swamp full of Gators there. After about a 3-yard pickup. Brings up third down 7 for Northview from the Baker. Looks like about the 27-yard line, 27-yard line. 10:30 to go in the first quarter. No score, just underway.
And that time Merritt trying to find some space on that left side behind his big left guard and tackle. Has a little bit more success, but that left side, or actually the right side of that Gator defensive line, is just big, strong, and fast.
Well, they run a spread offense. And this time it is Rayvon Bush on the left side, and Rayvon Bush is forced out of bounds on the far side. It's like Joe Brunson leading the gang there to force Bush out of bounds. So after 2 big first down runs, they force them to a 4th and 5 situation from the Baker 25-yard line, 9:51 to go first quarter.
And this is a situation where Northview really has to go for it. You're in the playoffs here. You're in kind of that no man's land of it's too far for a field goal, too short for a punt. 4th and 5, it's a good 4th down conversion to attempt.
And there's the whistle, and quarterback Seth Gillum in shotgun formation. And it's going to be a legal procedure. That's our first penalty, well, barring the out-of-bounds kick earlier.
Right.
But the first penalty, and it goes against Northview. And it's going to back them up 5 yards to the 30-yard line. Now 4th and 10 for Northview at the Baker 30-yard line. 9:36 to go. First quarter, no score.
And that's what I was just saying. Going from a manageable 4th and 5, now you got a 4th and 10. Much more difficult to convert on these Gators. We'll see what they cook up for this 4th down. You might see a play-action pass here.
Yeah, Seth Gillum back to pass. Gets the ball off. It takes a one bouncer to Bush. And he was being heavily pressured by Joe Brunson and also by Zach Mason. But so the Gators do stop. And I believe we do have a score. Crestview 7-0 over Pine Forest. They're playing over in Pensacola tonight, round 2. So,
and no surprise on that 4th down, Joe Brunson was the presence in the backfield there. On the year, he has 8 sacks. He's the sack leader for the Gators, and that time putting pressure on the QB for Northview.
9:23, Peyton Rockwell hands off to Junior McLaughlin. Junior trying to find somewhere to go around the right side, but he's going to be brought down quickly by Northview. No gain on that play, Seth. Brings up second down 10 for the Gators from their 30-yard line.
And that's no surprise to this Northview defense. They know what's coming. The junior's going to get the ball. You just got to know which side he's going to. And that time they maintain some good discipline. They don't let him outflank them, and they're able to pull him down for, it looks like about a short yard, maybe a half-yard loss.
Maybe so. Well, as you mentioned, it's no surprise, and it's always the same question. Yeah, I'm going to get the ball. Can you stop me?
Right.
Peyton under center, hands off to Junior. It's a flag, and now no surprise here, Seth. It's a flag most likely against the Gators. Going to be a legal procedure against the Gators, and that'll back them up 5 yards and bring up second down 16 from their 24-yard line. 8:46 to go in the first quarter.
And if you're a Chief, you're absolutely loving that. First play, the first down play is a negative play, and then a penalty back-to-back, forcing the Gators into a second and 16 now. And don't be surprised if this Chiefs defense doesn't come after the Gator offense now.
Second down and 16 from the 24. Now Peyton drops back into shotgun formation, back to pass. Or excuse me, it is Peyton Back to pass going for Bradley Inscore. Bradley Inscore has the ball right in his hands and can't bring it in. Goes incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 16.
And that is a terribly unusual sight for Bradley Inscore. What is
normally a catch for him.
Yeah, what is normally just an easy catch over the shoulder. Peyton with a perfect throw. He's going to hit him perfectly in stride, and Inscore just can't keep a good hand on that ball and bring that into what surely would have been a 1st down deep into Northview territory. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and long, and we'll see the Gators throw here again.
And Peyton going deep this time for Derek Peoples. Peoples makes it. He makes an acrobatic attempt, but can't bring it in. And this crowd wants pass interference, Seth, but he was in double coverage. But what an attempt by Derek Peoples to make that catch. Trying to make like an acrobatic, some kind of flip there.
It's
and
a
just
dive.
couldn't
He laid
bring
out
it.
for it, yeah.
He laid out for that pass, but couldn't bring it in. So back-to-back incomplete passes for Peyton Rockwell. And that'll bring up 4th and about 16 for the Gators. And now they'll be a punting situation. And, in fact, Peyton, quarterback, now punter for the Gators.
And you're not going to get PI there. It was clean coverage on both of those throws. Just some.
It's over his head. Peyton goes in the end zone to pick the ball up. He's going to run it out. Peyton's out. Here's at the 5. The flag comes down. Peyton gets about the 10-yard line, and he is flattened out of bounds by Northview. But what a great attempt by Peyton to keep that ball from being either a safety or worse yet a touchdown. But a flag comes in when Peyton runs it out to about the 11-yard line, and wait now and see what the flag is about.
And that might end up being a hold where it was thrown. One of the Gator linemen trying to give Peyton some extra time might have grabbed a little bit too much jersey. But I just want to say this is maybe the most dysfunctional that we've seen the Gator offense start out all season. First, a negative run from Junior McLaughlin, a false start to get him 2nd 15, 2 dropped balls from 2 of the Gators' best receivers, and then a terrible snap leads to a muffed kick that is going to give Northview the ball at the Gator 12-yard line. So we'll see what the Gator defense does right here with their backs almost completely against the wall.
8:02 to go in this opening quarter. No score. And as you mentioned, Seth, Northview now a golden opportunity from the Baker 12-yard line to punch this ball in. And Baker has not trailed at all the entire season.
Yeah, you are correct.
And is in danger of falling behind for the first time this year. So we'll see how that goes. Once again, Northview comes out in a spread off or a pistol formation. And Gillum hands off to Ray, and Ray's across the 10-yard line. And he's hit immediately by the entire Baker defense. No certain player that we can identify as making the first hit, but he stopped. It's about a 4-yard gain to the 8-yard line now, 2nd down and 6 for Northview from the Baker 8.
You just really can't ask for much better if you're Northview here. First drive that kind of stalled out after a couple big runs, but then your defense just comes up strong there. Now your offense has a chance about 9 yards out now.
A bad snap. Gillum picks it up. He's going to try to scramble for his life, and he's going to be sacked. And lead the charge was Derek Peoples, Kenny Williams, and I believe Peyton Rockwell. But a bad snap. And as we mentioned, the field is probably still wet from 3 heavy days of rain.
Yeah.
Or 3 days of heavy rain, or however you want to say that. But nonetheless, he loses yards back to the 11. So now 3rd down, 9, Northview from the Baker 11-yard line. 6:55 to go in this first quarter. No score. Now for the first time, Gillum is under center. And pitch back is to Ray to the right side. He's trying to find somewhere to go. And he's forced out of bounds. Joe Brunson and Devin Jordan forced him out of bounds about the 5-yard line. A flag comes in. And that's never a good sign deep in Gator territory.
It looked like a late hit out of bounds against the Gators. One of those penalties that's just never called for. It might have been unsportsmanlike on Northview, but it looked like the late hit. So we'll see what Whitehead has to say. But if that goes in Northview's favor, that's going to be pretty rough for the Gators here.
It is unsportsmanlike against Northview. So after Baker had already stopped them, now that's going to, well, I believe Coach Brunson may be declining the penalty to force a fourth down. Or let me make sure.
Well, the unsportsmanlike was after the play, so
Okay.
there should be
Okay.
fourth and about 20 from here now.
You got a new score there for us?
Pine Forest has scored a touchdown, but missed the extra point, 7-6 now. Crestview over Pine Forest.
And if we could get a Jay Vernon score, that'd be fantastic as well. So it is fourth and about 20 yards back at the 20-yard line. Gillum in shotgun, goes to the air. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Northview Chiefs. And for the first time this year, Seth, Baker falls behind 6-0.
And if there is a weakness on this Gator defense, it is in their secondary. And that time, Gillum finds his man post route right in the middle of the field. There's absolutely no Gators around him. He walks into the end zone completely untouched. And, wow, what a turn of events for this Northview offense.
Hold on, Seth. There is some discussion. Was there a flag? There was a flag down. There's a penalty against Northview. And what was the penalty?
It looked like an ineligible receiver downfield.
So that nullifies a quick score by Northview. So the record still stands, or that they have not fallen behind yet. And now it marks, they are marched back 5 more yards. It is fourth and about 25. The ball just outside the 25-yard line. 6:14 to go, first quarter. Still no score.
That's a couple of great breaks for Baker right there. The unsportsmanlike conduct, and then an ineligible receiver that's going to give Northview this 4th and 25. But the secondary is really going to have to tighten up. You're expecting a pass here. Make sure every man's covered there in that spread offense again.
And indeed, Killam is back in shotgun formation. Back to pass. Being pursued by Kenny Williams. Breaks away, throws the ball downfield over the head of his receiver. And so the Baker defense stands their ground, and they will take over on down. So, wow, what just a very exciting beginning to this first quarter. Wow, 6:05 to go first quarter, no score, and Baker takes over 1st and 10. The ball at about the 26-yard line of the Gators.
How about this Gator defense with their backs? I mean, pressed against the wall just about as much as you could be. Find a way to get a stop on the Northview offense. Great work, and now give their offense a chance.
Yeah, timeout, and we'll take a break and be back in just a moment.
So rights to the broadcast of this regional semifinal 1A football championship in the 2018 FHS AA have been granted to WTJT 90.1 FM by the Florida High School Athletic Association and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Florida High School Athletic Association is prohibited. You are listening to the 2018 FHS AA football regional semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
WTJT would like to thank Harris Fence of Baker, Florida for their support of WTJT and live coverage of Baker Gator football. Harris Fence offers a wide range of fencing services and supplies which include chain link, galvanized or vinyl coated, wood, privacy or picket, PVC, privacy, 3-rail, etc., and ornamental aluminum. They also offer various styles and brands. They do residential, commercial, and industrial work as well as offer free estimates and military and senior citizen discounts. Harris Fence is fully licensed and insured, and they have been serving Okaloosa, Walton, and Santa Rosa County for 21 years with 35 years experience. They are also a member of the Better Business Bureau. Harris Fence is located at 1588 Garrett Mill Road in Baker, Florida, and they can also be contacted by phone at 537-6169. Thanks again to Harris Fence and James and Rebecca Harris for your support of WTJT and our local football team.
And welcome back to Baker High School. It is 2nd down and 9 for the Gators after a penalty and a short run by Junior McLaughlin. Now 2nd down 9 for the Gators from their 27-yard line. 5:37 to go in this first quarter. Payton back to pass. He's going to be sacked. And Seth, we mentioned it during the pregame. Not sure if he's been sacked this year, and now he is sacked back to about the 10-yard line, or I'm sorry, inside the 10, the 9-yard line.
And that is a no-doubter right there on that sack. I believe that was Trent Peebles, the big middle linebacker, coming hard on a blitz, and he's just completely unblocked, missed by this Gator defensive line, and he slams Peyton into the ground. Long second down or third down coming up.
Third down, 27. Peyton goes to the air, trying to hit Bradley in score, and right through his hands. He can't bring it in, and he was covered that time by Keyshawn Breedlove.
And that was going to be a tough catch regardless. It's on the sideline, just a little bit out of reach of Inscore's outstretched hands. But again, this Northview defense holding Junior his second run of the night, only about 6 yards, already having to be a little bit longer as a result of the penalty. And now we got a score from Vernon and Jay. Vernon leading the Royals right now 14-0 in the first quarter.
Vernon leading Jay 14-0 first quarter. Wow. And so there's about 3 flags come in that time. But now Peyton back deep to punt. But now the penalty goes against Northview, so he'll have about 5 more yards this way. He still stands about his 5-yard line, but hopefully, last time the ball over his head.
No room for error on this punt.
Exactly. 4:53 to go in this first quarter. No score. Both teams have had 2 possessions, and Northview has actually done better. This time it's a great snap and a good punt by Peyton, and Northview makes the fair catch. Back at the 40. Well, actually, he caught the ball and took a knee. And I believe that was number 2, Jaden Jackson, that took the ball and downed it at the Baker 48-yard line. So far, now Northview on their 3rd drive and have a great field position. The first one at their 35, their second one at the Baker 12, and now this drive starts at the Baker 48. 4:39 to go first quarter, still no score. Jackson in motion, Killam back to pass, looking, goes downfield, and it's intercepted. The Gators, that's Derek Peoples. He's at the 40, the 45, and he's brought down near midfield. But a great INT by Derek Peoples, and Baker takes over, and they had the ball back about the 49-yard line.
And Peoples coming from that safety position. He's reading the quarterback's eyes the whole way. He baits Killam into throwing that and then comes up, steals it away, and takes it back and gives the Gators possession once again. And, wow, what a great pick by Derek Peoples, his 3rd interception of the season.
And it coming at a great time because Northview seem to have momentum with these last 3 drives. 4:27, first quarter, still no score. And now Baker, their 3rd possession. Garrett Mitchum in at fullback. Peyton Rockwell in a shotgun formation with Junior McLaughlin also in the backfield. Your center is Dustin Oglesby. There's a snap. Hands off to Junior. And Junior is stopped in the backfield. He's hit by about 3 Chiefs who bring him down back at the 45-yard line.
And I believe that started with the number 51, Dalton Brown, the defensive end there, just coming off his block almost immediately. The Northview defensive line is really winning the battle in the trenches right now, just kind of having their way with an offensive line that's been really impressive all season. And Junior just can't find anywhere to run. He's hit as soon as he gets the ball and is taken down in the backfield. So this Northview defense came to play tonight.
Yeah, Keegan Johnson also in on that tackle for Northview. Second down, 13. Again, Junior this time out right side. Cuts it back in. And again, he's going nowhere. He's still trying to go forward, and Northview will bring him down about midfield, which will bring up now 3rd down and about 9 for the Gators with 3.5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. So you said it, Seth, Northview really inspired, I believe, by their teammate Deontay Richardson, but also they know this is, winner goes on and loser goes home. And
that's right.
The season's going to end for someone tonight. And so far, Northview they're playing like it does. They do not want it to be them. Now Peyton, quarterback, keeper, bootlegger on the left side. He's got some great blocks ahead of him. And Peyton gets down to the Northview 42-yard line and be about a yard short of the first down. But a great run by Peyton Rockwell.
Yeah, just a simple quarterback keeper. It's a quarterback run all the way. He's got some great blocks to this near side and is able to give him a 4th and fairly short. And obviously the Gators are going to go for it here. And we'll see what Coach Brunson decides to do here. Maybe a little play-action pass. He got in-score over to the far side, so we'll see if he's got some trickery for this 4th down conversion.
Yeah, some great blocks by Barrow and Mason on that run by Peyton. Now a flag comes in, and there was some movement up front And looks like it's going to be a legal procedure against the Gators. So that forces a 4th and 7 from the Northview 48. But still said, I think you almost have to go forward here. You said it earlier. This is the playoff game. There's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I would look for Coach Brunson and the Gators to go forward here.
Kind of pull out all the stops. Yeah.
Exactly. 4th and 7 from the 48-yard line. 2:17 to go in the first quarter. Still no score between Baker and Northview. McLaughlin in motion. Peyton in shotgun. Peyton back to pass. Good protection. He hits Eric McQueen. McQueen's to the 40, the 35, the 30. He's got the first down and more inside the 30-yard line. A great pass from Peyton to Eric McQueen.
And they completely lost the tight end. He just sits down in the flats, and he's wide open. Rockwell finds him out there, and then McQueen just takes up the sideline. He's going to pick up a first down. Easily not even touched until he's about 5 yards past the first down marker.
Yeah, 1st and 10, Baker at the Northview 28-yard line with 1:55 to go in the first quarter. No score, but the gamble plays off. And, really Eric McQueen used very little on the offense. And right there, just a great play. Now, Kenny Williams on the handoff at fullback, and Kenny Williams is met at the line of scrimmage. No gain, brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Gators.
Kenny Williams has been used a little bit this season. He's got, I believe, he's got a few runs on the season. I believe 1 touchdown, but that time just not finding a whole lot of space. This Northview defense is just coming after him hard right now.
2nd down and 10 from the 28. Peyton hands off to Junior. Junior, he finds a hole. He's to the 20-yard line and forced out of bounds. But a great run by Junior, but he'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down, forced out at the 20.
And that time, Junior finally getting into some open space. Another zone run, this time to the near side. He's able to get outside and just barely outflank this defense. That's going to give him a 3rd and short to work with here now.
Yeah, 3rd down and 2 from the 20-yard line. We're at 1:09 to go in this first quarter. And no score between Baker and Northview. In the backfield is quarterback Peyton Rockwell, Kenny Williams at fullback, and, of course, Junior McLaughlin at tailback. And his handoff to Kenny Williams. He bulls ahead, and he is very close and should have the first down near the 16-yard line.
Kenny Williams, definitely one of those guys you want to have in short yardage situations. He's a big, strong fullback, also a big linebacker on defense, so he's used to putting some punishment on opposing players, and that time he gets it with the ball in his hands and picks up a first down to keep this drive going for the Gators.
Yeah, 51 seconds to go. It's 1st and 10, Baker from the Northview 16 again. Kenny Williams, no, quarterback keeper. Now it pitches out to Junior, and Junior across the 10 inside the 5-yard line, forced out of bounds. He fakes the handoff to Kenny. And Peyton then runs around the right side and pitches out to Junior. And Junior does get the first down. And the ball is inside the 5, looks like about the 2-yard line, Seth.
Yep, so a couple of fullback dives set up that triple option. The defense bites on the fake handoff to the fullback. And then Rockwell makes a great choice, pitches it to McLaughlin. Then McLaughlin does the legwork and gets it down to about the 3-yard line.
43 seconds, and Junior on the handoff. And he dives straight ahead. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Baker Gators. Well, Seth, it took them 11 minutes and 24 seconds, but they finally get on the board and first. 6-0 Baker.
And, that was about to be the first time all season that the Gators hadn't scored in the first quarter. So they waited until just about the very last second they could to get 6 points on the board. And who else do you expect it to be? The number 2, Junior McLaughlin.
Exactly. And they were kind of slow out of the gate. It took them 3 possessions, but they finally go the distance. And now on for the extra point is Brian Holly. Your holder is quarterback Peyton Rockwell. There's a snap. It's a good snap. And Brian just slips down. We mentioned all the rain this week, the grass monster, and then on the extra point attempt, Brian just slips, and he falls right on his behind side. It's humorous from up here, but still now they're ahead, only 6-0, but it is a lead, and we'll take it.
Yeah, a little soft spot in that field, and Holly just doesn't quite get his footing. Quite humorous, like you said, from up here.
We'll take a break and be back in just a moment.
Sportsmanship is having pride in your school, your team, and yourself. Sportsmanship is respect for the game and those who play it. The Florida High School Athletic Association reminds you to take on the responsibility of good sportsmanship. Play strong, play hard, play fair. This message provided by this station and the FHSAA. You're listening to the 2018 FHSAA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
And with 36 seconds to go in the first quarter, it is Baker 6 and Northview nothing. And the extra point, no good. In fact, I don't think Brian ever got the ball off the ground, but he did land there himself. Another pooch kick and fair catch called for by Jaden Jackson, and Northview had the ball 1st and 10 about the 38-yard line. So, Seth, quite an interesting first quarter. 36 seconds to play. Baker on top 6-0, courtesy of a 3-yard dive by Junior McLaughlin. The extra point, no good. And Gators kind of slow out of the gate, as I said earlier. And Northview, they are really looking tough defensively and offensively.
Yeah, but you really can't say enough about this Gator defense. When they were pinned against the wall, come up with a stop and get the ball back in the hands of their offense. And then Peoples coming up with the big pick, which led to the scoring drive.
And Killam hands off to Tyler Ray, and Tyler Ray is wrapped up by Peyton Rockwell. And also Derek Peoples. He gains about 7 yards on that run, or make that about 8 yards, 9 yards, and it's going to be second down and about a yard to go from the 46-yard line with 8 seconds to go. This may be the last play of the first quarter.
I believe you're right. Nope.
Nope, they get the play off. And Killam, quarterback, keeper right side. He's across midfield. He's down the sideline. The 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. He scores. Touchdown, Northview. On the last play of the first quarter, Northview scores on a 54-yard run by quarterback Seth Killam.
Wow. What a run by Killam. I think the Gators thought that the Northview was going to let the clock run out and end this first quarter. Instead, Killam takes it on the quarterback keeper, gets a great block up the middle from his running back, and then just bounces it outside, and he's almost completely untouched. And I believe he was in score trying to chase him down, but Killam, running like an actual man possessed, scores a touchdown from Northview, and now with a chance to take the lead over the Gators with this extra point. Very crucial extra point.
Yeah, for the first time this season, Baker may fall behind. There's no time on the clock. There's the snap. The ball's down. The kick is up. And it's good. So, for the first time this season, Baker falls behind. It is Northview 7, Baker 6. And real quick over in Pensacola, Crestview leads Pine Forest 14-13.
And tonight's game in the 2018 FHSAA Class 1A Football Championship is sponsored by the Florida High School Athletic Association. The FHSAA is a democratic organization with a membership of more than 800 middle and senior high schools, all committed to ensuring that Florida student athletes can compete fairly and equitably in an educational environment. The Florida High School Athletic Association, building leaders through teamwork, sportsmanship, and citizenship.
And we are set to kick off the second quarter, or set to kick off the second quarter. And wow, Seth, what a way to end the first quarter. And I believe you're right. I believe Baker was just caught off guard. As you said, the play clock had 17 seconds, and there's 2 seconds to go in the quarter. And I thought they would let it run out, but I believe they caught the Gator defense off guard. And what a run by Seth Killam, 54 yards around the right side.
Yeah. And the quarterback ran like a running back right there. I mean, just tucked it. And as soon as he hit the sideline, he turned on a burst of speed that I haven't seen from him when we played them the first time, and just absolutely creates some massive distance and goes in the end zone untouched.
And push kick by Northview, and it's Jack Adams who takes it about the Baker 43-yard line and really gains nothing, goes nowhere, brought down about the 43. So Baker takes over, 1st and 10. They trail 7-6, and we are 6 seconds into the second quarter. Playoff game, second round.
I believe that's the first time you've said Baker trails ... all season. So,
yeah,
very interesting turn of events tonight. Northview playing with just some absolute vigor right now, and really giving the Gators all they can handle.
Well, had they made the extra point, it was 7-7, but the missed extra point has got him behind. And now Peyton tries to pitch out to McLaughlin, fumbles the ball, but they blow it dead. Apparently Peyton was already down, or was it illegal?
It was a legal forward pass.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so it's a triple option there. Again, they tried to play off of what worked before, faking the handoff to Kenny Williams up the middle, get a little bit of the defenders to bite on that. And then as Rockwell takes it, he's trying to lateral, but it's going to be a forward lateral. He's still behind the line, so it's illegal, but it's going to be an incomplete pass. What could have been a fumble that Junior McLaughlin almost picked up, and I think he would have taken it to the house, but luckily for Northview, that's going to be ruled an incomplete pass and bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and Peyton is injured on that play, Seth. In fact, he's on the sideline now. Peyton Rockwell is injured. And so Kenny Williams has gone in a Wildcat, or Junior McLaughlin, in a Wildcat formation, takes the direct snap, and Junior picks up maybe a couple yards. He's out to about the 46-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Gators. And Sam Croson is the backup quarterback, and Peyton is holding that left wrist. He was injured on that play when he pitched out to threw to McLaughlin.
He took a pretty solid hit.
Yeah, 11:20 to go in the second quarter. Ashton Morrison comes in at one wide receiver, and Brad Inscore goes out. They're both on the same side. And again, Junior, I call it the Wildcat, but he's in the quarterback position. Unless quarterback, this time Junior goes from the left side, picks up a good block from Garrett Mitchum, and he's out near the 49-yard line. That's going to be up 4th and about 5 for the Gators.
And this is just the most slowed down we've seen Junior McLaughlin. Northview just really coming off their blocks, not able to be held down by this Gator offensive line. And that time Junior's trying to outflank him to that far side, and he just can't quite get outside. Northview defense coming up with a great stop, and it looks like they're going to force the Gators into a punt here, but watch for the fake.
I misidentified a play. That was not Garrett Mitchum. That was actually Kenny Williams who was in there blocking. And another score.
Yeah, Vernon having their way with Jay, 20-0 now in the first quarter.
Peyton does go in for the punt, and he gets off a nice punt that Northview lets roll, and it rolls inside the 10-yard line to about the 7, and is down by Joe Brunson. So Peyton does come in and gets off a nice block and pins Northview back inside their 10-yard line.
Yeah, that's a great punt from Peyton Rockwell. Gets it deep down inside Northview territory, so they're going to have a solid 93 yards to drive downfield and score if they can. But looking like over Vernon and Jay that the winner of this game will have to fight Vernon once again. Both teams have already played Vernon, I believe, once this year, both coming away with victories.
Right now, should Baker win, that winner will come here. If Northview wins, I'm not sure the scenario there, if they would go to Northview or if Northview would have to travel. Killam hands off to his running back and runs smack dab into that defensive front and is stopped about the 10-yard line. It's going to be a short gain of a couple of yards, maybe 3 yards. Brings up 2nd down 7 for the Gators, or for the Chiefs, 9:48 to go in this second quarter. It is Northview 7 and Baker 6.
And that time looked like Quay Thomas coming in from that running back position, trying to find some space on that left side. Gator defense closing quick.
And hands off to his receiver around the left side, and he's brought down by Derek Peoples. There's a fumble on the play, but I believe it was recovered by Northview.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Still some discussion there amongst our officials.
That time it was Rayvon Bush, the wide receiver, coming on the end around. This time he's able to find some room up the sideline.
Yeah, he gains about 5 yards. Going to bring up 3rd down 1 for Northview. Nope. It is a 1st down, they say now. 1st down, Northview.
Solid run.
Yeah, the ball at the 16-yard line of the Chiefs. 9:09 to go in the second quarter. Handoff to the running back and tackle downfield. Kenny Williams makes the tackle downfield. But it's another 1st down run for Northview, and they had the ball at their 30-yard line. 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. Baker trails 7-6.
Yeah, I believe that was Tyler Ray again, correct. Just a strong run right up the middle, and he's running powerfully tonight.
And it's Ray again, right side. He's busting through. Tackled by Trey Colmetz. He's out to about the 38-yard line, going to bring up second down and about 2 yards for the Chiefs.
Ray is just blowing by the defensive line like it's nothing, getting into the second level almost immediately, and he's not having arm tackles tonight. You're really going to have to wrap him up if you want to bring him down. Another great first down run, picks up about 8.
And again, this Ray, this time up the middle, but he stopped. It's like Sean McLeod makes the initial hit and gets some help from Brett Enscore and Trey Colmetz.
That time the war on the line the Gators just won. It's been very back and forth to who is going to win this Gator D-line or this Northview offensive line. And that time the Gators are going to pull the tug-of-war flag just a little bit more in their direction and stop Ray before he's able to get by. So bring up a 3rd and short still.
3rd and 2 from the 38. And Killam fumbles the ball. It's loose. Baker picks it up. Kenny Williams jumps on the loose ball. And what a big break for the Baker Gators as they stop a Northview drive that has some promise to it. But a great play by Kenny Williams in that Baker defense.
Yeah, and no surprise that the Gator defense would come up clutch there and force a fumble. All season, they have forced several fumbles. On the season, actually, the Gators have forced 20 fumbles and recovered 16 of them. So add another one there, and Kenny Williams comes away with it and gives his offense great starting field position. The Gators now a chance to take the lead back from the Chiefs.
Yeah, 7:43 to go in the second quarter. It is Northview 7, Baker 6, and Peyton Rotwell back in the lineup after getting some attention from Andrews Institute athletic trainer Jessica Langston. Junior McLaughlin dodging in and out, trying to find holes. He keeps going. He's spinning. He's turning. He's twisting. And McLaughlin is down inside the 15-yard line. About a 20-yard run and a first down for the Baker Gators. And Junior now starting to look like Junior McLaughlin.
Junior McLaughlin doing his best impression of a top, just spinning out there, spin move after spin move. Just the Northview defense unable to bring him down. Every time they try to wrap an arm around him, he just spins out of it. And that time, a great run from Junior, and definitely looking like old Junior there. Picks up a first down, and now the Gators really threatening to score.
Yeah, 1st and 10, Baker. Ball at the Northview 14-yard line. 7 minutes to go until the half. And Baker trails 7-6. Peyton to the air. Hits Derek Peoples. He cuts it back inside and then trips up. But Derek had plenty of open field and green grass ahead of him, but gets tripped up by that infamous grass monster. And, well, actually, it looks like he may have lost a yard. Or, I'm sorry, no, he gained. I'm sorry, looking in the wrong place. He gained about 4 yards. Second down and 6 from the Northview 10-yard line. 6.5 to go until the half.
I'm not sure if that was the grass monster, if that was actually a Northview cornerback over there that just got a hold of a shoestring up there. He wasn't able to trip him up, but a successful screen is going to pick up about 4 yards.
And once again, Peyton in shotgun formation. Back to pass. Hits Derek Peoples again, this time on the right side. Derek's got room to run, and he is stopped. A touchdown-saving tackle by Northview as Peoples gets to about the 2-yard line. That should be a first down, brings up 1st and goal for Baker. Inside about the 2, I believe, Seth.
Yeah, and that's Logan Bryan, the cornerback for Northview, that comes away with the touchdown-saving tackle in open field right there and able to get Peoples. But that screen play, that wide receiver screen to Peoples, has been really successful all season. That's actually where Peoples has a couple of his receiving touchdowns. So almost another one there, but Northview coming up with the stop. That's still going to give Baker a fresh set of downs in goal line territory.
1st and goal, timeout. We'll take a timeout as well, Seth, and back after this.
For the latest official news about Florida high school sports, including results of all rounds in the 2018 FHS AA Football Championships, visit FHSAA.org, the official website of the Florida High School Athletic Association. That's www.fhsaa.org. Catch live and on-demand postseason coverage of Florida high school sports at www.nfhsnetwork.com. Brought to you by the NFHS Network, the official online partner of the FHS AA. You are listening to the 2018 FHS AA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
This radio ministry relies heavily upon its gracious supporters to survive, like Days Tire Pros in Crestview. In addition to tires with a national warranty, they have a complete car care center, providing brake jobs, front end and rear end alignments, oil change, lube and filter, shocks, belts, air conditioning, and so much more. Days is located where they've been for nearly 4 decades of service on Highway 85 South, which is also home to Pack Rat Mini Storage. The phone number, 850-682-5088. Thanks, Kim and staff, for your support. Days Tire Pros, home of the hassle-free guarantee.
And back to live action. 5:52 to go in the second quarter. Touchdown, Baker Gators, but a flag is down, so let's hold on to everything here, Seth.
Let's see, just a simple run by Junior McLaughlin right up the middle. It's going to be a touchdown just about every time when he's about 2 yards out like that, but looks like the flag might be getting waved off.
Well, Seth, if any run by Junior, is it anything but simple? He makes it interesting, entertaining, and amusing, but not simple.
True. That one looked, though, for even for Junior, that's pretty simple. The offensive line got some great blocks, gave him a wide open hole to run through.
Going for 2 points here. Ahead 12-7. Peyton trying to pass, and he's going to be sacked and brought down back about the 20-yard line. So the 2-point attempt is no good. Regardless, Baker retakes the lead, 12-7. 5:47 to go in the second quarter. And real quick, once again over at Vernon, it is Vernon over Jay, 21-0. I believe that is a second quarter score as well.
Yeah, so it definitely looks like the winner of this game will be taking on Vernon next week.
And now we're just about set for this kickoff. Baker 12-7 after another run by Junior McLaughlin. And this time the 2-point conversion fails. And just thinking ahead, should they score again, do you go for the 2-point again, or do you just go for the 1 point and just try to keep that lead?
Yeah, I think if you take another score at this point, Coach Brunson will probably elect for the 1 point. But interesting, Baker has now scored 12 points off 2 Northview turnovers.
That's true. Pooch kick and is a fair catch called for by Northview at their 46-yard line. So 5:44 left in the second. It is Baker 12, Northview 7.
And for Northview, they've really done one of the major things that you can't do against this Gator team if you want to win. 2 turnovers, a fumble, and an interception. Your defense is playing about as strong as you can ask them, but the offense is just really not helping their case here. We'll see what they do on this possession, if they can maybe tie this one up, or actually they would take a 1-point lead.
Quarterback Seth Killam under center, and a flag comes in. And Seth, I know you're not keeping track, but it seems like so far tonight the penalties have equaled out. And it's really, there's never a good one, but it seems like there's never, and I know there's never a good time for one, but certainly not when you're making an impressive drive downfield or a chance to score. But now this one goes against the Gators. I believe it must have been offsides. It is now
Correct.
1st and 5, Northview from the Baker 48. Again, Killam under center. There's a confusion in the backfield. Lost the ball for just a second there, but Killam falls forward. But it's going to be knocked back for about a yard loss to the 49. Now 2nd down, 6 for Northview at the Gator 49-yard line.
It looked like Killam might have mishandled the snap, or might have got a bad snap, and Ray was coming out to this near side expecting the toss, and it's just the ball's never coming. So now they'll have a 2nd and 6 to play with.
Now shotgun formation, hands off to Jackson on the left side. Jackson is being brought down. I believe that's Trey Coleman, or excuse me, Peyton Rockwell had a hold of his jersey, trying to bring him down. They finally get some help from Sean McLeod and the rest of the Baker defense. He is very close to a Northview 1st down. 3rd and 1 for Northview from the Baker 44-yard line. 4:50 to go until the half.
And just running hard with the absolute tenacity, the willpower, deciding that he is not going to be taken down easily, and picks up solid yards on 2nd down, give him a 3rd and short.
And it's handoff to Ray, and Ray has met the line of scrimmage. And leading the pack was Zach Mason.
And trying to get a dive play there. It's 3rd and 1, thinking that they may be able to get a little short yardage run that's enough on 3rd down, but That's very tough against this Gator defense, especially in the center of that D-line. And now Northview faced with a 4th and half a yard to 1 yard, and we'll see if they try to go up the gut again.
Carter Mason also in on that. It is 4th and 1 for Northview from the Baker 44. No surprise, going for it on 4th and 4 in motion is number 2, Jaden Jackson. Now a whistle and a timeout taken by Northview, and we'll take it as well with Baker on top, 12-7.
You're listening to the 2018 FHS AA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
Milligan Assembly of God is a proud sponsor of Baker Gator football. Our service times are on Sundays at 9:30 for Sunday school, 10:30 for morning worship, and 6 p.m. for Sunday night explosion. Our midweek service is on Wednesday nights starting at 7 p.m., and there's something for every age group of the family. You can connect with us at mag.church, and you can check us out on Facebook. From Pastor Mike White and the congregation of Milligan Assembly of God, we want to say,
Go Gators, yeah!
And welcome back to, I'll start to say Doak Campbell.
Not quite.
Doug Griffith Memorial Stadium, home of the Baker Gators, for the round 2 playoff game between Baker and Northview, a rematch that Baker won 4 weeks ago, 35-7. Right now lead 12-7. And on 4th down, Killam hands off to Ray, and he is met in the backfield by Trey Colmetz, Joe Brunson, Eric McQueen, Kenny Williams, and just the entire cast of the Baker defense. So on 4th down, the Gator defense, once again, playing like we have seen them play all year. But I know I've already said it a couple of times, but they were kind of slow out of the gate that first quarter. But now all of a sudden they are starting to get on track, it looks like.
Yeah, Gator defense not fooled there at all. And like you said, playing with some ferocity, and they come after them on that 4th down, and the back just has absolutely nowhere to go. And Gator defense coming up with another stop, and now the offense with a chance to increase this lead here in the second quarter.
And Peyton back in the backfield, hands off to Junior. He takes a hesitation, and then he finds a hole, and Junior's out across the 40-yard line of Northview. He's got a first down run, stopped at the 36-yard line. Another great run by Junior McLaughlin.
And luckily for Daniel Merritt, the defensive back there, he's able to grab a hold of the ankle of Junior McLaughlin and slow him down long enough for the rest of his teammates to come help bring Junior down. But just a simple zone run, Junior is able to find an open hole created by that great left side of his offensive line in Taylor Barrow and Carter Mason. And then he gets into the second level and picks up that first down.
3:25 to go. 1st and 10 from the Northview 36, and Junior tripped up in the backfield. Loses a yard or two, brings up 2nd down and 12 back at about the 38-yard line.
Yeah, that like a combination of slipping on the grass and running into the back of his guard, Carter Mason, who was pulling to that right side, and that's going to take him down for a short loss and bring up a 2nd and 12 here.
Shotgun for Peyton, hands off to Junior, and Junior's bangs up the middle, finds a hole and dives forward, and he's across the 35-yard line to about the 34. It'll be able to 4-yard pickup, brings up 3rd down and 7 for the Gators from the Northview 30, maybe this is the 33-yard line, Seth, actually.
And Junior again up the middle this time, able to find a little bit of running room, and that'll bring up a 3rd and about 7 to work with. And we'll see if the Gators try to break out some more play action here. Maybe another screen. We got Eric McQueen, the tight end now here playing in the slot, so look to get him in the flats.
2:20 to go. Baker on top, 12-7. Peyton throws out to Trey Coleman to his left side, and Trey breaks a tackle. He's still going, and he's down inside the 25-yard line. Should be, and it is a first down for the Baker Gators. But now sit there. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, I was going to say now they got 2:10 to go into the half, and so the clock is also their opponent here. Go ahead. I'm sorry, son.
No, you're good. So I was just going. The wide receiver screen has just really been an effective tool for the Gators, especially in some of these 3rd and long situations. And Colmetz, another one of their great offensive players, who's able to fight for those extra yards and pick up the first down.
Now 3 receivers, but a handoff to Junior McLaughlin, and Junior's across the 20 to about the 19-yard line. About a 5 or 6 yard run brings up 2nd down 4 for the Gators with 1:45 to go until the half. Baker still has their 3 timeouts. Northview has 1.
And see, this kind of play call is really adding to the variability of this Gator offense. Northview not quite knowing what to expect. 3 receivers spread, and now they've given them the danger of either they're going to throw a screen pass or give it to Junior once again. And so now it's going to spread this defense out a little bit more.
Yeah, spread formation. Now Peyton through the air. He hits Derek Peoples, but Peoples slips and loses the ball as he is slipping to the ground. So incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 4 for the Gators.
And unfortunately for Rockwell, who's really thrown some good passes tonight, his receivers aren't doing him many favors. That's another drop pass, unfortunately. But still, Peyton Rockwell showing some nice lasers out there tonight.
Indeed. A minute 21 until the half. Baker 12, Northview 7, and Baker facing 3rd and about 4 from the 19-yard line. Now a whistle, and it's like a flag. No, Northview takes a timeout. 1:19 to go into the half. Timeout. We'll take it as well. Baker on top, 12-7.
And you're listening to the 2018 FHSAA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
WTJT would like to thank Jason Norton and Baker Metalworks for allowing us to bring live Baker Gator football coverage to the listeners of WTJT. Baker Metalworks offers a large variety of colors, and they are all Energy Star rated. They have 4 profile styles with 29 and 26 gauge. They also have delivery available, and all of their materials are Florida product approved. Baker Metalworks is located at 5846 Highway 189 in Baker. They can be reached by phone at 850-537-2010. Thanks again to Baker Metalworks for all of your support here at WTJT.
And welcome back to Baker High School, Doug Griffith Memorial Stadium. After a Northview timeout, their last, Baker facing 3rd and about 4 or 5, ball just inside the Northview 20-yard line, and Baker leads at 12-7. A minute 19 left in the half. Junior McLaughlin bangs up the middle. He's across the 10-yard line. 1st down, Baker Gators.
Just another great run from Junior right up the middle, falling behind his big center, Dustin Oglesby, who gets a great block. And then McLaughlin just doing what he does, picks up a 1st down, gives his team a fresh set here with just over a minute left in this first half.
Yeah, it's 1st and goal, so no 1st down, but they have a minute 9. And again, it's Junior McLaughlin. And this time he is met by several Northview Chiefs just inside the 10-yard line. Going to bring up 2nd down and goal for the Gators. Now there's 58 seconds. They still have 3 timeouts, and Coach Brunson may want to use one here. Some of the fans thinks he should.
Northview defense got to dig in here, and they're doing a great job thus far. Really, you have to have a stop here. If you go down 2 touchdowns, Gators get the ball back to start the second half as well. We'll see what Northview can do.
Junior in motion, and it throws out to Brett Inscore. He avoids 1 tackle. Brett Inscore into the end zone. Touchdown, Baker Gators. And that's why you shouldn't question using your timeouts. Not us, of course, but, others.
Brad Inscore with the little move. He's going to have to help the defender find his ankles that he juked him out of.
Indeed.
Inscore. Again, the wide receiver screen. Such an effective play that the Gators have used. 3 different receivers now, and that time Inscore is the one who takes it, does a nice little move, and walks into the end zone. And that's going to give the Gators an 11-point lead here as we come to the end of this first half.
Yeah, maybe one of those PlayStation-type moves on that defensive back for Northview. But, yeah, good to see Brad Inscore get the ball and get a touchdown. Yeah. It's been a while, it seems like, since Brad. Now the Gators are going for 2 points here. They're up 18-7. Peyton back to pass. Now brings the ball down, and he is in trouble. He is brought down by about 3 Chiefs. So once again, the 2-point conversion is no good. And Peyton was hit hard, Seth, and Peyton he is still on the ground. He's in pain.
Yeah.
And I hate to see that, but he slowly gets up.
It's a rough hit he takes, and it looks like he's favoring that left leg there, and that's an unfortunate hit, and he's trying to make a play. He's doing everything he can. He's getting bum rushed by this Northview defense, and that time tries to make a little bit too much happen, and he gets slammed into the ground hard, and I'm sure he's hurting, but thankfully he's got a great athletic training staff here to look after him.
Yeah, he was the center of a Northview triangle there, clobbered by 3 Chiefs. But Peyton Rockwell is a very tough competitor, and he'll have the half to kind of get back on track here. But nonetheless, the Gators are now up 18-7 with 25 seconds left until the half. And as you said already, they will get the ball to start the second half. On for the kick is Brian Holly. And there's the whistle, and again a pooch kick. This time no fair catch is called for, but the up back there for Northview falls on the ball quickly. And so now Northview will have 23 seconds and about 60 yards to go to hit pay dirt.
And the up back living kind of dangerously there. Doesn't call the fair catch and lets that kickoff bounce before he falls on it. You're playing a dangerous game there with Joe Brunson coming after you. So Northview will be lucky to retain possession there. Start at their own 40. No timeouts, 23 seconds. Look for a kneel here or perhaps a couple shots at the end zone there in shotgun.
They were in shotgun formation. Handoff is to Jaden Jackson on the left side, or right side, or left side, yeah. Brad Inscore is there to trip him up, and he slips down about the 40-yard line. Picks up a yard or two, brings up second down, but the clock is down to 5 seconds, so they may not try to make a last play as they did in the first quarter when they scored. And they will let the clock run out. So what a very entertaining first half. Your halftime score is Baker 18 and Northview 7. Back, well, hang on just a second. Got some scores to pass on to you. Vernon leading Jay 21-0 in the second. Crestview over Pine Forest in the second, 21-13. And Navarre leading Escambia 14-7 also in the second. Now back after this.
The FHSAA is now on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Tweet us, like us, and tag us on your social platforms by searching for FHSAA. Keep up with the teams and people who strive to make high school athletics in the state of Florida the best. Be a fan of it all by following us on social media at FHSAA. You are listening to the 2018 FHSAA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
Hi, this is Tony from Baker Feed and Country Store. The Baker Gator football season is back, and we are proud supporters of WTJT's live Baker Gator football program. Baker Feed and Country Store has all your fall food plot, seed, and fertilizer needs, along with corn, rice bran, pellets, and blocks. We carry Justin boots, belts, wallets, and Wrangler jeans. Baker Feed and Country Store is located on the right at the light in downtown Baker and can be reached by phone 537-1000. Again, that's 537-1000. Go Gators!
WTJT and the Baker Gators are proud to recognize Baker Parts in downtown Baker as a sponsor of live coverage of Baker Gator football. Baker Parts has auto parts and hardware for all household needs. Baker Parts is located at 1304 Georgia Avenue in Baker, and their phone number is 537-3131 or 537-4231. Thanks, Danny, and all the staff at Baker Parts for helping to make coverage of Baker Gator football possible on WTJT. WTJT would like to say thank you to the Okaloosa County Teachers Federal Credit Union for supporting our coverage of Baker Gator football. Okaloosa County Teachers Federal Credit Union offers a wide variety of financial services with 4 locations, including the Baker branch location at the entrance to Baker School next to the Gator Cafe. They can be reached at 850-537-9815 or on the web at OkaloosaFCU.org. You can be a member of the credit union if you live, work, or worship or attend school in Okaloosa County. For all your financial needs, it's Okaloosa County Teachers Federal Credit Union, achieving goals together. Thank you, Brackney Funeral Service in Crestview, for your support. Brackney Funeral Service is located on Highway 90 East. They are locally owned and operated and provide all the traditional funeral services, including burials and cremations. And the telephone number is 683-9898, 683-9898. Terry Brackney is the funeral director. Again, thanks, Terry and Brackney Funeral Service for giving to WTJT. WTJT is honored to recognize the support of Adams Sanitation to this ministry. Adams is locally owned and operated and has been for more than 35 years. They offer twice weekly pickup featuring automated trucks. No bagging of trash required. Adams also offers complimentary pickup of small bulk items, appliances, bagged yard waste, plus complimentary service to any church within their service area. They have 65 or 96-gallon rolling cans and pricing plans specifically for the senior 65 and older. The phone number to Adams Sanitation is 537-3282. The website is adamsanitation.com.
And welcome back to Doug Griffith Memorial Stadium, home of the Baker Gators. It is halftime in this second round playoff game, and your halftime score is Baker 18 and Northview 7. And now with some stats and keys to the game, here is Seth. Seth, go ahead, son.
Well, let's start for the keys to the game. As always for Baker, number one is give the ball to your playmaker. When you have a player who consistently makes big plays, scores touchdowns, and has general success every time he touches the ball, you give him a lot of touches. McLaughlin is that player. And his production still makes up 59% of the offense's yards and 60% of its touchdowns. He averages a just ridiculous 11.9 yards per carry. That's coming into this game. Until someone stops him, he's just going to continue to pick up a lot of big scores. Tonight, Northview actually finding a little bit of success stopping him, but you can only keep him down for so long. Number two, cut out senseless penalties. If I sound like a broken record, it might mean that there's an issue. Penalties are that issue. Sad thing that I had to express last week is that the Gator penalty yards have rivaled their passing yards. As they progress into the playoffs, should they win tonight, self-inflicted wounds could really be killing blows, especially in tighter games. But if they can't stop holding or false starting, they at least have to cut out their personal fouls and unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, which they haven't had tonight. The lone unsportsmanlike conduct was against Northview, but still there's been a lot of false starts and offsides, no holding penalties, so they're cleaning up in that area a little bit, but that's really going to be pertinent, especially if they hope to finish out this game tonight and then progress to play those teams like we talked about further east and further south of here. And number three, and finally, start passing the rock with Rock. And Rockwell tonight, getting to show his arm off a little bit in these wide receiver screens. He had two beautiful passes in his first drive that were both drops, one by Inscore and one by Peoples, but were absolutely beautiful spirals, hitting their receivers in stride, but the receivers just not quite able to bring those in. So I look forward to seeing them continue, try to pass a little bit more. Like I said, adding some variability to this offense, keeping defenses on their toes as far as what they're going to do. And Rockwell tonight showing off that he still has a great arm, and we're hoping he's going to be okay coming out of the second half after that big hit he took to end the first half. Now for Northview, number one key, and this is my key every week. You may think it's lazy writing, but it's really not. It's just the number one key that every team is going to have to deal with, and that is slowing down McLaughlin. I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but not many teams can stop McLaughlin. Northview, in the first time they played them, really couldn't stop him. Tonight, they've had shown a little bit more success in being able to bring him down. And honestly, not many teams west of the Tallahassee region can stop McLaughlin, but Northview tonight, one of the few teams that's actually showing that they can at least slow him down a little bit. But they're really going to have to continue to keep him contained, but the risk that they run as they continue to try to keep him contained is giving up some plays in the passing game, and that's what we've seen tonight as the wide receiver screen game has opened up a little bit as they've tried to spread out this defense. Northview is really wanting to bite in on that run, and that's creating opportunities for guys like Inscore, Peoples, and Colmetz to get open outside, and Rockwell able to dump it off to him, and then as we saw Inscore into the first half pick up that touchdown. So Northview now is going to have to pick their poison and really work to continue to hold McLaughlin down, but also find a way to keep Rockwell from completing these passes to open receivers. Now, number two, have productive drives. That first drive is a perfect example of what Northview really had to do to be successful. Two back-to-back runs that were big, 20-yard runs, got them into Baker territory almost immediately, and then that drive stalled out. They're really going to have to continue to have great first down plays. You never want that first down play to be negative or even neutral. You want to pick up some kind of positive yards and then let that drive the rest of the possession. We've seen tonight penalties. They have just not been able to sustain productive drives as a result of penalties and also two turnovers, a fumble and interception that stalled two good drives and that the Gators capitalized with two touchdowns. So that may be the difference tonight is those two turnovers that have put them now into this 11-point hole, and the Gators obviously when they come out in the second half are going to look to make that a 18-point hole to start the second half. And now number three, and finally, and unfortunately for Northview, this has kind of turned in the other direction for them, is they need to force some turnovers. The Gators don't turn the ball over much. As we mentioned the last several weeks, their turnover difference is plus 11, which means they've forced 11 more turnovers than they've given up. So the Gators are just really stingy with holding on to the ball, and they really like to pull the ball away from the opposing team. And tonight they've already done it twice, +2 in the turnover category. So Northview is really going to have to find a way to strip the ball from McLaughlin if they can, or on some of the passes that they force with Rockwell, get in that passing lane, break it up, or better for them, pick it off. So those are my keys to the game, and as we've seen, they've really played out for Baker. Baker has done what they've needed to do in this first half. They've been slowed down a little bit more than we expected, but Northview just not quite able to keep up offensively, which is really the key when you're fighting against such a potent scoring Gator offense.
Exactly, and Seth, we mentioned earlier, really Northview tonight playing with a heavy heart of some sort, and had an inspiring story. And in case you missed it earlier, last week, actually Northview earned its first postseason win in 6 years when they beat Graceville 40-14 in the first round of the playoffs in the Class 1A state playoffs. Now, the joy of that victory was quickly set aside after their junior defensive end, Dereonte Richardson, he suffered a heart attack the next morning at home after finishing breakfast. Now, according to head coach Derek Marshman, Richardson is steadily improving each day. He's still in the hospital, and there has been no release date as of yet. But it is good news that he is improving each day. Now, he was named the defensive player of the game last week with 8 tackles, 3 for loss, and 1 sack. And his teammates tonight, they're playing to honor Richardson. And an inspiring story, and we've seen it at different levels where this type of inspiring story will motivate a team to win. And that first quarter, Northview is playing like I've not seen them play in several games, and really came out tough. And Baker finally got on track, and now halftime score is 18-7. And, of course, back on a more serious and personal note, of course, we here, not just you and I, but the WTJT family, all of us, our prayers, our thoughts are with the Richardson family and praying for a continued improvement in his health. Well, Seth, we've got some interesting scores. Now, the winner tonight will play the winner of the Vernon J game.
Correct.
And I believe the game is actually a J. Regardless, it is now Vernon 27, J nothing. Now, if Baker goes on and wins tonight, that winner, which most likely will be Vernon at this point, they will come to Baker. But regardless, Baker will be home next week versus a team they have already played once this year. They did beat Vernon 19-6 and shut out Jay 35-0.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see that matchup. Should Baker win tonight, finish off Northview, Vernon was the only other team this season that has really been able to halt this Gator offense. So holding them to 19 points, their lowest of the season in that game. So that would be a rematch that will be very fun to watch should it occur, unless Jay mounts the comeback of the century, coming back from a 27-0 deficit. But yeah, that'll be very interesting. But we got to finish this game tonight first.
Yeah, especially with Vernon, their running back, Quan Powell, who was, I believe he is FSU bound, is what I read or heard at one time. But yes, especially him, and be a very interesting game. But like you said, they have to finish out this game first, up 18-7. From our good friend Irish Bill, who takes care of the Navarre Raiders as far as their coverage. They are playing at Escambia tonight, and in the second quarter, Navarre is leading Escambia 17-7. And the last score we had from Pine Forest was Crestview leading 14-13. And not sure if that has changed, but that's the scores that we have. Of course, what we're most interested in is DJ Vernon. Like I say, if Baker wins, they'll host next week's game, the Vernon J winner, and Vernon ahead 27-0 at this point. We'll take another short break and be back after this.
You are listening to the 2018 FHS AA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
One of our sponsors this year for our live coverage of Baker Gator varsity football is Wise Equipment in Crestview. Wise Equipment specializes in sales and services of Kubota and John Deere mowers and tractors. They carry Steel and John Deere chainsaws, line trimmers, and blowers. Plus, they have John Deere toys. All products are backed by a manufacturer's warranty. Wise Equipment is located at 1147 South Purdon Boulevard in Crestview and can be reached at 850-682-3366.
We are proud to acknowledge the support of Whitehurst Powell Funeral Home in Crestview. They are a family-owned and operated funeral home, open 7 days a week, and can handle all funeral needs. Plus, they offer advanced planning. Whitehurst Powell is also home to the Southern Heritage Crematory. They are located at 436 James Lee Boulevard, and the phone number is 850-682-3052. Owner Andy Powell is committed to caring for you in your time of need, and is also proud to help make coverage of Baker Gator football possible.
WTJT would like to thank Harris Fence of Baker, Florida for their support of WTJT and live coverage of Baker Gator football. Harris Fence offers a wide range of fencing services and supplies which include chain link, galvanized or vinyl coated, wood, privacy or picket, PVC, privacy, 3-rail, etc., and ornamental aluminum. They also offer various styles and brands. They do residential, commercial, and industrial work as well as offer free estimates and military and senior citizen discounts. Harris Fence is fully licensed and insured, and they have been serving Okaloosa, Walton, and Santa Rosa County for 21 years with 35 years experience. They are also a member of the Better Business Bureau. Harris Fence is located at 1588 Garrett Mill Road in Baker, Florida, and they can also be contacted by phone at 537-6169. Thanks again to Harris Fence and James and Rebecca Harris for your support of WTJT and our local football team.
This radio ministry relies heavily upon its gracious supporters to survive, like Days Tire Pros in Crestview. In addition to tires with a national warranty, they have a complete car care center, providing brake jobs, front end and rear end alignments, oil change, lube and filter, shocks, belts, air conditioning, and so much more. Days is located where they've been for nearly 4 decades of service on Highway 85 South, which is also home to Pack Rat Mini Storage. The phone number, 850-682-5088. Thanks, Kim and staff, for your support. Days Tire Pros, home of the hassle-free guarantee.
Milligan Assembly of God is a proud sponsor of Baker Gator football. Our service times are on Sundays at 9:30 for Sunday school, 10:30 for morning worship, and 6 p.m. for Sunday night explosion. Our midweek service is on Wednesday nights starting at 7 p.m., and there's something for every age group of the family. You can connect with us at mag.church, and you can check us out on Facebook. From Pastor Mike White and the congregation of Milligan Assembly of God, we want to say,
Go Gators, yeah!
And welcome back to Baker High School. Halftime here in this playoff game, round 2. Baker 18 and Northview 7. And just to give you the scores one more time, the last score we had was Crestview over Pine Forest, 21-13. Port St. Joe over Bluntstown, 10-6. That's in the fourth quarter. Port St. Joe 10, Bluntstown 6. And it's Navarre leading the Escambia 17-7. Vernon shutting out Jay 27-0 is the last scores that we have currently. And Seth, in the second half, what do you expect to see from Baker and Northview?
I'd like to see Baker continue to do what they did in that second quarter. After the first quarter where they, like you said, really started slow coming out of the gate and really picked up. So look for more runs from Junior, obviously. Look for some more runs from Kenny Williams to set up that triple option. And then some more wide receiver screens, getting the ball out to the likes of In-Score and Peoples. And also getting the tight end Eric McQueen involved. We saw one of the fourth down conversions where Rock was able to hit McQueen in the flats. And he's just completely missed as he runs up the sideline and picks up the first down. He also got his first touchdown 2 weeks ago against Graceville. So look to see Coach Brunson start to show some more creativity in the play calling as they progress further in this game and in the playoffs in general. And, I mean, unless Northview can really find a way to make some more stops on defense and their offense keep up with Baker scoring as well, we might see this one over near the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention this earlier, asking Coach Brunson, was there anything new or different to add to what we already had about Northview? Mm-hmm. He did remind me that Baker, as far as regular season, is at 29 straight games, 30 if you count last week's postseason win. And this group of seniors, this senior class, over the past 3 years, now 36-1. That one loss was a playoff game. I believe he said a quarterfinal game, or anyways, like a Final Four game against Bluntstown, who, as you know, has been a thorn in Baker's side for the past 15 years or so. But
at least.
Anyway, so these seniors, 36-1. And also we mentioned about Baker's win streak. I did confirm it with your uncle, Jack Allen.
Right.
That back in 83, 84, and 85, that Baker actually won 42 straight games overall.
Yeah.
I don't think that has been broken by any team, not just Baker, but any team, at least in Okaloosa County, or maybe in the whole Northwest Florida region. I'm not sure, but still, that's an impressive feat. 42 straight wins back in the mid-1980s when they won 3 straight state championships. And, of course, our very own head coach, Matt Brunson, a member of those teams, who was team manager that first year and then a player on the varsity squad the last 2 years. But, you know, that impressive feat nonetheless. So,
certainly,
this senior class has met that feat as far as having 3 regular undefeated seasons. And now a win tonight would put them one step closer to that promised land known as the state championship in Orlando. So we'll wait and see what happens there.
Absolutely.
The Gators are back on the field. We're just about set for the second half kickoff. And Seth, we'll take another break and be right back with the second half kickoff momentarily.
You're listening to the 2018 FHSAA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
WTJT would like to thank Jason Norton and Baker Metalworks for allowing us to bring live Baker Gator football coverage to the listeners of WTJT. Baker Metalworks offers a large variety of colors, and they are all Energy Star rated. They have 4 profile styles with 29 and 26 gauge. They also have delivery available, and all of their materials are Florida product approved. Baker Metalworks is located at 5846 Highway 189 in Baker. They can be reached by phone at 850-537-2010. Thanks again to Baker Metalworks for all of your support here at WTJT.
And welcome back to Baker. And Seth, a very interesting call by the officials during that halftime break, a delay of game, I believe you said, called against the Baker Gators.
Yeah, they're, I guess the team did not get back out onto the field in a timely manner coming out of halftime, and so now the kickoff will be just a little bit closer.
Only 5 yards closer, but nonetheless, another penalty is just remarkable. All set for the third quarter. Baker on top 18-7, and it's kicked straight away. And it will be Junior at about the 10-yard line. Makes one juke move, and he makes a nice little run out to about the 25-yard line before being held up by the Northview Chiefs. First and 10, Baker from their 26-yard line. The third quarter just underway. Baker on top, 18-7.
And, you know, communication is key. And that time it looked like there was a little bit of miscommunication between Junior McLaughlin and Derek Peoples, both back to receive and not quite sure who wanted to get it there. And it looked like Junior caught him off at the last minute, and it took a minute to pick that ball up and run with it. But still picks up decent yards, and they're going to have a long drive here to try to put the ball in the end zone.
So from the shotgun formation, Peyton Rockwell back to pass. There's a deep downfield for In-Score. In-Score makes an incredible acrobatic attempt, but can't bring it in. Falls incomplete, but man, what an arm on Peyton Rockwell, throwing that ball about 40 yards down the field.
And I love that play call. It's first and 10 coming right out of into the second half, and Peyton Rockwell just launches a bomb downfield, and In-Score almost has the offensive pass interfere to prevent an interception there. But you have a interesting stat here from our very own Dr. Robert Williamson.
Yeah, indeed, the longest high school win streak, 151 by De La Salle High School in California from 92 to 2004.
And that's a win streak that's not easily broken. Very impressive.
Very impressive. Yeah, 42 seems like a short number, a very small number now compared to 151.
Certainly. It looked like we had a penalty there trying to get the ball out to Peoples on a wide receiver screen like we talked about that's been so successful, but I believe there was a...
Actually, was incomplete because now
incomplete
third
pass,
down.
excuse me,
Third
sorry.
down and 10 for Baker. Ball at their 26, 11, 32 to go in the third quarter. Baker leads at 18-7, facing third down 10 from their 26. Now you've got Colmetz, Peoples, and McQueen to the right side, and a flag comes in as they must have been some illegal procedure against the Gators.
Yeah, there was a couple men in motion, and the entire offensive line jumped, it looked like, and they're going to call that every time, so that's going to give them a third and even longer to work with. And don't be surprised if there's another pass here, but very interesting. The Gators coming out of halftime, back-to-back passes, and now in a definite passing situation here on 3rd and 15.
Yeah, 3rd and 15 from their 21-yard line. Spread formation. Rockwell back to pass. He's under pressure. Gets the ball off to Junior, and it goes incomplete. Almost intercepted. Now Junior kicks the ball in anger, and a flag comes down, and that's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against the Gators. And Junior just for a moment just lost his cool there, but they're going to call that every time also.
So I'm going to take you back to my number 2 key for the Gators. Cut out senseless penalties. There's your senseless penalty right there. You get frustrated, you get angry, don't take it out on the ball, cost your team an extra 15 yards there, and now Peyton's going to have to kick deep within his own territory, maybe kicking out of the end zone on this one.
Indeed, on 4th down. It's still 4th and 15 momentarily as we wait for the officials to move the ball. Here comes the official call from the officials. It is unsportsmanlike against the Baker Gators. And that's going to make it 4th down and about 30 yards. And indeed, Peyton will be in the end zone to punt this ball away. It's not the first time tonight, but it doesn't get any less nerve-wracking.
And the Chiefs were close to blocking that first one that he kicked from deep within the zone. In the zone, don't be surprised again here if they come after it with everything.
11-17 to go in the third quarter. Baker 18, Northview 7. We await the snap on this punt by the Gators from Peyton Rockwell. It's a low snap. Peyton gets it up, and it's not a very pretty punt at all. It looks like it might have been partially blocked, Seth, and it does roll to the Baker 28-yard line where Kenny Williams downs the ball. But I guess under pressure, Peyton got off a punt. Not his best, but
I think you're right. The way it came off, like one of the rushers did get a little bit of a hand on it, maybe a fingertip, but just enough to alter the course. And Northview blockers were having to get out of the way to avoid being hit by that ball, so that's only about a 20-yard punt or so, and now Northview with phenomenal field position to start their first possession in the second half.
From the 28, Killen throws it out to, I believe that's number
Jackson.
Number 2, Jackson. Yeah, thank you, Jaden Jackson. And he's wrapped up quickly by the Baker defense. Derek Peoples there.
It's hard to execute a very successful screen against this Gator defense because they're so quick to move laterally and get out there in the flats, and that time they find Jackson just about as soon as the ball does, and they're going to bring him down. Heavy loss. Second about 14 from their 30 now.
Yeah, indeed. Second down long for the Chiefs from their 30, from the Baker 30-yard line. 10:30 to go, third quarter. Killam hands off to Ray, who slips down the backfield, and he was met by John Metaleska and Joe Brunson. He would have been stopped anyway, but the grass helps on that play. Now it's another 2-yard loss, brings up third down and about 15 for the Chiefs.
And if you're Northview, this is just really disappointing as an offense. Your defense comes away with a great 3-and-out to start, and now you start with great field position inside Baker territory, almost in the red zone, and now your offense backed up a third and about 16 here.
Killam in shotgun formation, back to pass, good protection, throws downfield, is caught. And now the referee signaled incomplete pass. I thought he caught the ball, Seth, but apparently he must have hit the ground. Yeah. Incomplete, and no argument from the Northview receiver. So
not a very good acting job there.
No, so fourth down and 16 for the Chiefs. Ball at the Baker 32-yard line.
Unfortunate, because that's a great pass from Killam. Hits his receiver over the middle of the field. It would have been maybe about a yard short of the fourth down, but would have given him a great opportunity to convert on that fourth down. However, with the drop, it's still going to bring up a 4th and long, and Northview's going to go for it anyway, down 11.
Yeah, they have to here, Seth. Killam rolls right, looks and pass. Now goes back to the left. It's tipped up by McQueen. It's intercepted. That is Sean McLeod. And Sean McLeod with the interception for a Baker touchdown. He takes it back about 67 yards. And what a play. It was tipped by, I believe, was that McQueen that tipped it up? I'm not sure who tipped it up.
I believe so. The defensive end, Eric McQueen, coming in there.
And he falls right into Sean McLeod. Now, that's his second defensive touchdown this season. He had a punt return blocked for a touchdown. And now... So, wow, that brings this crowd to their feet. But what a great heads-up play by Sean McLeod as he races. He looked like Junior almost running down that field, but what a run by McLeod.
I thought it was Junior for a second, but he's moving so fast. As a defensive end, just absolute speed and great awareness, as you said. Eric McQueen, first of all, to get his hand up in the passing lane and break up what would have been a screen pass. And then McLeod, just with great hands from the defensive tackle position, takes that one all the way back to the house, and now the Gators creating that separation that they've been known for all season.
Yeah, I said 67-yard run because it was the line of scrimmage was the 33, but I actually might not have been exactly that. Now they go for the one-point conversion, and this time it is perfect. 9:33 to go in the third quarter. Your new score is Baker 25 and Northview 7.
You are listening to the 2018 FHS AA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
Hi, this is Tony from Baker Feed and Country Store. The Baker Gator football season is back, and we are proud supporters of WTJT's live Baker Gator football program. Baker Feed and Country Store has all your fall food plot, seed, and fertilizer needs, along with corn, rice bran, pellets, and blocks. We carry Justin boots, belts, wallets, and Wrangler jeans. Baker Feed and Country Store is located on the right at the light in downtown Baker and can be reached by phone 537-1000. Again, that's 537-1000. Go Gators!
And welcome back to Baker. What a great defensive play. A heads-up play by the defense. Tipped by Eric McQueen and intercepted by Sean McLeod. He raised his back about 55 yards, something like that, for the Baker touchdown and the one-point conversion. Good. 25-7, Baker on top. And now Holly kicks the ball straight away and is taken by Northview at the 30-yard line, out to the 40, and then what a heads-up play. A great tackle by the kicker, Brian Holly, on the return man for Northview.
Yeah, that was Adam Aleph, the up back, trying to take that one back, and Brian Holly finds him and makes a Pat McAfee-esque hit on the return man. I don't know if you've ever seen the highlight. Pat McAfee, a retired punter, now Hall of Fame punter in the NFL, played for the Colts, made an absolutely punishing hit on a return man for the Denver Broncos. We'll look it up sometime, but very Pat McAfee-esque there as Holly comes away with the tackle on them.
And Killam hands off to his up back, out across midfield on the first down play from the 45-yard line. And the Gators stop him about midfield. It'll be about a 6-yard run. Brings up second down and 4 for Northview from the Baker 49. 9:05 to go in this third quarter. Baker 25-7 over Northview.
And what we mentioned earlier, that's the kind of production you need on first down, set you up with second and short to work with. And now Navarre in good position here on second down.
And handoff again goes to the running back. He finds a hole. He's finding some open grass. And he may score. Brought down just shy of the goal line by Derek Peoples. A touchdown-saving tackle by Derek Peoples on Northview. But what a great run. About a 48-yard run by Northview. First and goal inside the 1.
Yeah, that's a great run by the back. His offensive line just create enough space. The back uses his speed, a little bit of quickness to burst through that hole. And then he's in the secondary almost immediately and untouched until Derek Peoples is able to track him down at about the 2-yard line. And they've been held here before, so we'll see what they cook up here now. First and goal from the Gator 2-yard line.
8:40, third quarter. Baker 25, Northview 7. First and goal, Northview inside the Baker 3. And handoff, I believe that is Daniel Merritt on the carry and stopped about the 1-yard line. I believe that was number 62, Carter Mason, making the tackle. It is now second down goal. The ball just inside the 1-yard line.
And I believe that was number 36, Kendrell Lowry, with the great run up to get them at about the Gator 2-yard line. And now we'll see if they can come away with a touchdown here and close the gap a little bit.
In shotgun formation, handoff goes. I believe that's Merritt again, and it's touchdown Northview. So Northview showing some fight as they come right back after that touchdown by Baker, and just on about a 3-play drive, go in and score.
Yeah,
25-13 now.
Started with that big run as Lowry's able to create some space and show a good burst of speed, set Northview up for those last 2 plays inside the 5-yard line. And now, like we said, closing this gap a little bit and not giving up yet. We're just barely halfway through the third quarter. Plenty of time for Northview to get back on track and get this game close.
And the extra point, it is up. It is good. 7:51 third quarter, Baker 25, Northview 14.
You are listening to the 2018 FHSAA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
WTJT and the Baker Gators are proud to recognize Baker Parts in downtown Baker as a sponsor of live coverage of Baker Gator football. Baker Parts has auto parts and hardware for all household needs. Baker Parts is located at 1304 Georgia Avenue in Baker, and their phone number is 537-3131 or 537-4231. Thanks, Danny, and all the staff at Baker Parts for helping to make coverage of Baker Gator football possible on WTJT.
And welcome back. After a 1-yard dive by Northview in the extra point, it is now Baker 25, Northview 14, 7:51 to go in this third quarter. Now Northview set to kick off. Back deep is Junior McLaughlin and Derek Peoples, possibly the 2 fastest runners on this Baker team. Both very dangerous return men.
Yeah, you're right.
And he will kick it right to Junior McLaughlin at the 15-yard line. Comes to his right, to the 20, the 25. Now cuts back inside, breaks 1 tackle. Then he's met by several Chiefs who drive him back to about the 20-yard line. And Seth, another flag comes in.
And I just want to talk about the arm of that ref. That's about a 30-yard flag throw right there. He saw from about 30 yards back, he throws his flag, and that's probably going to be blocking the back against the Gators. But, man, great throw by the ref, showing off his arm.
Indeed. 7:40 and still some discussion amongst our officials. And Seth thinks it's a block in the back, and from where it was thrown and the look on the Baker players. No, it's actually against Northview. The penalty is against Northview. So it's first down, Baker.
I'm not sure exactly what that was. He made the motion of a block in the back, but I've never seen a block in the back called on the kicking team that's not going to be blocking. So,
well, regardless, it gives the Gators better field position.
And they'll take it.
From their 35-yard line. And Peyton Rockwell back in there at quarterback. We saw him go down with an injury just before halftime, but he looks like he's back at full capacity right now. Another whistle and another flag. Seth, you know, this is the kind of thing you expect early in the season, but now the postseason game, 2 games into the postseason, and still a lot of flags being thrown tonight.
Some things don't change. And
sideline warning against Northview.
They might not have liked that call on the kickoff there. And Coach for Northview's getting a little heated.
It is 1st and 10 from the 35. Peyton is back in shotgun formation. He has Peoples in scoring. Colmetz as receiver, hands off to Junior McLaughlin. Junior just runs straight ahead and picks up about 2 yards to the 37-yard line. Brings up 2nd down, 8 for the Gators.
That time the big D line for Northview wins that battle. Able to hold Junior to a short gain on that zone run inside.
25-14, Baker leads in the third quarter with 7:14 to go. 2nd down and 8 from their 37-yard line. Again, Peyton Rockwell in shotgun. He's got Junior in the backfield. Hands off to Junior, who cuts it back to his right. Now cuts out to his left and finds a little bit of room. He's across the 45-yard line, and it takes a pack of Chiefs to bring him down, but a great run once again by Junior McLaughlin.
And Junior just runs like a bull with a rider on his back, just continues to buck and just throw Chiefs off of him. It takes just about the entire squad to bring him down, and they still can't bring him down before he's able to pick up a first down. Another great run by Junior McLaughlin there.
And Seth, here's a score that might be of interest. In the fourth quarter, Port St. Joe leads Bluntstown 17-12. Port St. Joe 17, Bluntstown 12 in the fourth quarter.
And now we'd be looking way ahead, but should Baker win tonight, win next week, they might play the winner of one of those games over from Region 2 in Class 1A football.
Yeah, exactly. And another penalty, illegal procedure against the Baker Gators.
And I think it's got to the point the Gator offense just likes to give themselves a few more yards for their stats. You know, instead of a 1st and 10, now you get a 1st and 15, and Junior gets to pick up a few extra on his next carry there. But penalties just still the story of this Gator offense, especially these false starts, some holds, illegal procedures, just still some kinks they haven't quite worked out here, even in the second round of the playoffs.
In the third quarter, Crestview 27, Pine Forest 13. Crestview 27-13 in the third. Junior finds a hole. He finds some open space. He's running downfield. He's to the 30-yard line and finally pulled down from behind by Northview. But another big run by Junior McLaughlin, and he's down to the Northview 27-yard line.
Yeah, see, if they hadn't got that penalty, that would have been 5 yards less that Junior wouldn't have got to add to his stat line there. So another great run from Junior right up the middle, and that is what he's known for. It's just as soon as he sees that bit of daylight, it's just a quick burst through that hole, and then he's through right into the second level and now deep into Northview territory, as I believe Northview is going to take a timeout here.
Yeah, 6-19, Baker 25, and Northview 14.
The Florida High School Athletic Association recognizes its corporate partners who help make the FHS AA Football Championships possible. Team IP, the official merchandising company of the FHS AA. Gatorade Thirst Quencher, fueling the future. Mainlight Events, the official photo company of the FHSAA. Balfour, the official supplier of championship rings for the FHS AA. Spectrum Sports, the official television partner of the FHS AA. Max Preps, official scores and statistics of the FHS AA. Go Fan, official online ticket provider of the FHS AA. The NFHS Network, the official online partner of the FHS AA. And Wilson, provider of the official game ball for the 2018 FHS AA Football Championships. And you are listening to the 2018 FHS AA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
And welcome back. And now Baker, 1st and 10 from the Northview 27-yard line. In motion is Derek Peoples. Peyton, back to pass. Now goes downfield. He's looking for Coleman, and it's intercepted and goes incomplete. Nearly intercepted, falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10 for the Gators. And now over in Escambia, it is Navarre 20, Escambia 7 in the third quarter.
I like the play call there. It's a fake screen. Looks like Rockwell is going to throw where he's throwing all night to Peoples in the flats, but instead has his man in scoring. Colmetch running downfield. Northview defense not fooled, stay on their men, and almost come away with an interception there. Would have been very timely for the Northview defense.
And 2nd down and 10, and Junior McLaughlin on the handoff, and he runs head first into a Northview Chief and knocked Junior back for just a second there, and does fall forward for a couple of yards. Now 3rd down, 8 for the Gators from the Northview 25-yard line. 5:41 to go in this third quarter. Your Gators lead the Chiefs 25-14.
McLaughlin's had some big runs tonight, but we've seen a lot more of these that have been just 2 and 3 yards. Northview has really found a way to slow him down somehow with arm tackles that hold on long enough for the rest of the team to come bring him down. But
Peyton under center, pitch back to Junior McLaughlin, and Junior finds an open hole, and he makes some positive yards, and he has another Baker Gator first down inside the Northview 15-yard line.
You can only keep him contained for so long, these short runs every now and then Junior just does what playmakers do, and that is find some space and make big plays. And there on the toss play, he just gets outside to this near side and is able to pick up that first down on what would have been a 3rd and long.
And looks like some kind of official timeout taken by Northview. 5-11, Baker 25, Northview 14, and back after this.
You are listening to the 2018 FHSAA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
WTJT would like to say thank you to the Okaloosa County Teachers Federal Credit Union for supporting our coverage of Baker Gator football. Okaloosa County Teachers Federal Credit Union offers a wide variety of financial services with 4 locations, including the Baker branch location at the entrance to Baker School next to the Gator Cafe. They can be reached at 850-537-9815 or on the web at OkaloosaFCU.org. You can be a member of the credit union if you live, work, or worship, or attend school in Okaloosa County. For all your financial needs, it's Okaloosa County Teachers Federal Credit Union, achieving goals together.
And welcome back to Baker. After Northview timeout, Baker first and 10 from the Northview 15-yard line. 5:11 to go third quarter. Baker 25-14. And hand off to Peoples left side, and he slips and is safe at third base. But it's about a yard loss, second down and 11 for the Gators.
Yeah, and Peoples just really struggling with the turf, really not going his way tonight. Those cleats just aren't quite doing their work and helping him keep his footing. He would have had some space to run around that left side, but he's going to actually fall down for maybe about a half-yard loss and bring up a second and 11.
Yeah, second down from the Northview 16-yard line, 4:40 to go in the third quarter. Junior on the handoff and just straight ahead and trying to find somewhere to go and get some push from his offensive line, but is stopped after a very short gain. Now third down and looks like maybe about 9 yards. Ball inside the 15, about the 14-yard line.
And for Northview, you cannot overstate the importance of these next 2 downs. This third and long, should they be able to force them into a fourth down, this Northview defense is really going to have to dig in and keep the Gators out of the end zone if they want to have a chance at winning this football game.
Oh, yeah, it's 4-down territory here for sure. Clock rolling, under 4 minutes now in the third quarter. It's Baker on top, 25-14 in the third. Shotgun formation. Peyton again hands off to Junior. He cuts to the outside, cuts inside, touchdown Baker Gators. Junior McLaughlin with a touchdown run. And Seth, wait, there may be a flag, or is it a towel on the field? Touchdown Baker Gators, but trying to see if it's a towel or a flag there about the 10-yard line. Maybe a towel.
Yeah, it looks like a towel. One of the offensive linemen just picked it up. So if you're Northview, that is really a absolute sucker punch to your momentum as the Gators take back that lead that Northview had just kind of closed off a little bit, and McLaughlin just continued to do McLaughlin things. He's such a patient runner, waits for that big hole, and then just bursts through and picks up the easy touchdown, and now Holly on.
3:44, and the extra point attempt by Brian Holly is coming up. There's the snap. Peyton gets it down. It's a low kick, and it's just barely good. Just does clear the upright, but now it's Baker 32 and Northview 14. And Seth just got a text from our good friend Randy Martin. I guess he said he thought he was watching football and said something about sliding to third base. But, hey, Randy, I just call it like I see it. He was safe.
He was safe.
He was safe. A nice little slide by Derek Peoples. But, hey, we just call it like we see it, brother.
That's right.
Nonetheless, 3:44 to go in the third quarter. And it's Baker on top, 32-14. Another impressive run by Junior McLaughlin, and a nice drive by the Baker Gator offense.
And now if you're Northview, this next possession becomes even more crucial offensively. You have to keep up with the firepower of the Gator offense, which is so tough to do, and several teams have struggled this season to keep up with the Gator scoring. And so now we'll see if they can come out, make a quick score, and let their defense continue to try to make some stops against the Gator offense that just can't seem to be contained here in the second half.
Yeah, pooch kick there by Brian. Holly goes out of bounds. And Seth, real quick, want to thank all of our listeners. Every week we have so many different ones that come up to us and appreciate what we do here, and we're humbled by that, and thank you. But a couple that's been listening since game one, that's my nephew, your cousin Jacob, and his wife Alexandria Allen. Jacob and Alex Allen, they're little son Tucker. Thank you guys for listening every week to us and everyone else. Really too many to name, and I don't want to get into trouble, and I probably just did.
You already did.
But nonetheless, thanks, guys, and everyone for listening to us here on the radio. Now from the 48 of Baker, handoff goes to Jackson, and Jackson is set up at the 45-yard line. And thanks to Amanda Tilburg, she just texted us, said good job tonight. Thanks, Amanda. Appreciate you guys listening to us. Short run by Northview, now second down and about 7 from the Baker 45-yard line. Clock is rolling at 3:20. And Gators in command, 32-14 in the third quarter. Second down, 7 for Northview. In motion goes Ray. He gets the handoff on the right side. He's to the 40-yard line and forced out of bounds by John Medaleska on the far side. Be about 3 yards shy of the first. Brings up third down for the Chiefs.
And Ray with a good run there as he gets outside and finds a little bit of space on the sideline. But the Gator defense, we talked about it all season, they're just so quick and so fast. It's really hard to outflank them. And that's how they pull Ray down. It's going to bring up a third and about 3 or 4 to work with. And we'll see. It's obviously 4-down territory the rest of the game for Northview. And we'll see if they're able to convert here or get themselves a 4th and short to try to convert.
And Killam hands up to his up back, Merritt, who is wrapped up quickly by the Gators. Trey Colmetz wraps him up first and then gets some help from his teammates. Another whistle.
A Northview player is down. Looks like one of the offensive linemen for the Chiefs.
Official timeout, and we'll take it as well. 2:19 to go, third quarter. Baker on top, 32-14.
You were listening to the 2018 FHSAA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
Thank you, Brackney Funeral Service in Crestview, for your support. Brackney Funeral Service is located on Highway 90 East. They are locally owned and operated and provide all the traditional funeral services, including burials and cremations. And the telephone number is 683-9898, 683-9898. Terry Brackney is the funeral director. Again, thanks, Terry and Brackney Funeral Service for giving to WTJT.
And welcome back to Baker. And the injured player for Northview is able to get up and walk off. And I believe that is number 56, Keegan Johnston. And it's good to see him up on his own power. So now 4th and 2 for Northview. Ball at the Baker 39. And Northview having to go for it here. They're down by 18 points in the third quarter. Shotgun for Killam. Jackson in motion. Killam rolls to his left. He slips, throws the ball, and is caught by number 1, Tyler Ray. And it's a first down for Northview at the Baker 22-yard line. Another diving catch by Ray.
Wow, what a catch by Ray Killam, who looks like he took quite a shot as he makes that throw. It's a little play-action bootleg. He rolls out. He looks like he's going to try to tuck and run, and at the last minute sees his man Ray running across on a crossing route in the middle of the field. Throws back across his shoulder, and Ray just diving out to pull that one in and just does barely get his hands under that ball to bring it in. So a great 4th down conversion for Northview. He's going to keep this drive going, but Killam looks like he's walking off, and a backup quarterback is going to have to come in for this new set of downs.
Yeah, I think the backup may be Cameron Cloud. I'm not real sure on that. They've also got Ben Wilson and Dalton Burke as quarterbacks. And it may be Ben Wilson, I believe, that comes in. And it is. Ben Wilson comes in the quarterback for the Chiefs. A minute 44 left in the third. Baker on top, 32-14. Hands off to Jackson on the left side. Jackson breaks 1 tackle, 2 tackles. He's hit by Trey Colmetz. He's dragging Gators with him and finally pulled down inside the 10-yard line with Trey Colmetz and company. But a great run by Jaden Jackson. It's a first down for Northview inside the Baker 10-yard line.
Jackson just cranking it up into the next gear and just keeps on trucking, moving right along. It takes just about half the entire Gator defense to pull him down. Jackson, a great runner there, keeping his legs churning. Picks up a first down now inside the Gator 10-yard line. And again, like we said before, a very important drive. They have to score here and put up some points to try to
close. And Wilson hands off to Samolson. I believe that is Samolson on first and goal from the 9-yard line, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage by the Baker defense. Brings up second down and goal from the 10. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Baker on top 32-14. And the Chiefs with a golden opportunity to score here and try to get a little bit closer. Ben Wilson remains quarterback. He's in shotgun formation. Now goes to the air. He hits Tyler Ray, and Tyler Ray hits Derek Peoples, and he bounces him off of, I believe, Peyton Rockwell there, or Joe Brunson, excuse me, and he is stopped shy of the goal line about the 4, so now third down and goal for the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's a great throw to hit Ray out in the flats, and I don't think Wilson sees his other wide receiver who's running a slant across the middle, who's wide open in the middle of the end zone, and instead hits Ray in the flats, and it's going to bring up a third and goal that's fairly short.
Yeah, 32 seconds to go. Handoff is to Jaden Jackson. And the ball is loose. Looks like Baker may have recovered, and they have. Now another flag comes in, Seth, but what a great defensive stop by the Gators. Jackson fumbles on the play, and Baker recovers. And now I'll see what the flag is about.
That's a great effort again by this defense. They love stripping that football. They've done it all season. That time it was Kenny Williams again that came up with the recovery.
Great job by Kenny. And now we're waiting for the referees to sort this out. Dead ball personal foul against the Gators.
Yeah, it would appear so.
So that will put the ball back about the 1-yard line. But still the Gators do stop the Northview drive and take over. There are 24 seconds left in this third quarter. Baker on top 32-14.
And for Northview, that was such an important drive to try to get points off of. But the Gator defense coming in clutch again, forcing a turnover here. Unfortunately, that unsportsmanlike conduct is going to put the ball about a foot from the end zone. And so now they'll be in very close quarters to their own goal line. And it looks like Coach Brunson's going to call a timeout and figure out the best course of action here. And you are listening to the 2018 FHS AA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
WTJT is honored to recognize the support of Adams Sanitation to this ministry. Adams is locally owned and operated and has been for more than 35 years. They offer twice weekly pickup featuring automated trucks. No bagging of trash required. Adams also offers complimentary pickup of small bulk items, appliances, bagged yard waste, plus complimentary service to any church within their service area. They have 65 or 96-gallon rolling cans and pricing plans specifically for the senior 65 and older. The phone number to Adams Sanitation is 537-3282. The website is adamsanitation.com.
And welcome back to Baker. 24 seconds left in the third quarter, and Coach Brunson calls a timeout with the Gators pinned back deep in their own territory. Seth said about a foot from the goal line, and that's about right. Now Peyton is under center and hands off to his fullback. And that is Kenny Williams, who does get a little breathing room. He's out to the 5-yard line. About a 4-yard run. Brings up second down 6 for the Gators. Now, Seth, we saw earlier this year the Gators pinned down at their one, I forget which game it was, but Junior took the ball, I think, on the second play and ran 95 yards for a touchdown.
He has a chance to do that again here, as it'll be second 7, or usually about second 9 or 6. From about the 5-yard line. So
that is the end of 3 quarters. At the end of 3, your Baker Gators are back on top, 32-14. Back after this.
You're listening to the 2018 FHS AA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
One of our sponsors this year for our live coverage of Baker Gator varsity football is Wise Equipment in Crestview. Wise Equipment specializes in sales and services of Kubota and John Deere mowers and tractors. They carry Steel and John Deere chainsaws, line trimmers, and blowers. Plus, they have John Deere toys. All products are backed by a manufacturer's warranty. Wise Equipment is located at 1147 South Verdon Boulevard in Crestview and can be reached at 850-682-3366.
We are proud to acknowledge the support of Whitehurst Powell Funeral Home in Crestview. They are a family-owned and operated funeral home, open 7 days a week, and can handle all funeral needs. Plus, they offer advanced planning. Whitehurst Powell is also home to the Southern Heritage Crematory. They are located at 436 James Lee Boulevard, and the phone number is 850-682-3052. Owner Andy Powell is committed to caring for you in your time of need, and is also proud to help make coverage of Baker Gator football possible.
Welcome back to Baker High School for the fourth and final quarter of this second round playoff game between Baker and Northview. 4 weeks ago, the Gators hosted Northview and beat the Chiefs 35-7. Tonight, it is now 32-14 in this last quarter, and Baker facing second down and about 6 from their own 5-yard line. And still waiting, both teams are lined up and waiting for the officials to give the whistle. And here we go. Peyton Rockwell is under center and hands off to his fullback, Kenny Williams. And Kenny Williams busting through. He's out to about the 20-yard line, about a 15-yard run by Kenny Williams, and he's showing the power of a true fullback.
Yeah, Kenny, just an absolute tough runner, and he got you out from underneath the shadow of your own goalpost and let him take it again, just right up the middle, and the Chiefs just takes everything they have to wrap him up and bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up a first down. And now the Gators really have the breathing room to execute their offense.
Yeah, 14-yard run by Kenny Williams, and it's 1st and 10. Baker from their 19. Peyton under center, hands off to Junior, and Junior doing what he does best, busts through that left side, and they thought he had him down. He put a hand down to keep the knee going down, and then Junior gets out to about the 29-yard line and just a yard shy of the first down. About the 28-yard line. Go ahead, Seth. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Junior with the balancing act there. Looks like he's going down, pushes himself up, steadies himself, and then is able to pick up a couple more yards, about 9 yards on first down. Another great run from number 2.
11-10 to go in this ball game. Baker on top. Peyton under center, hands off to Junior, and Junior finds some open space on the right side, and he's forced out of bounds about the 40-yard line, but it'd be another first down for the Baker Gators.
Yeah, it looked like he faked the handoff to Kenny Williams up the middle and then the pitch back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin runs out to that far side and picks up another first down for the Gators, and the Gator offense just moving at will at this point.
Indeed. Now remember, they started at their 1-yard line or just inside the 1, and now it's 1st and 10. Baker from their 39-yard line. 10:57 to go in the ball game. Baker 32 and Northview 14. Again, under center is Peyton. Again, hands off to Junior. Again, Junior finds some open space. He's to the 50, the 45, the 40, and finally forced out of bounds by the Chiefs. And that's number 22 for Northview. And another first down run by Junior McLaughlin.
It's just so hard to get Junior McLaughlin. You can see the fatigue of this Northview defense that's having to try to keep up with him, just huffing and puffing, chasing him down the sideline. And Junior just looks like another day at the office, running with track speed that the defenses just can't keep up with.
And Seth, one sign of a tired defense is their hands on their hips. And you look at that front line for Northview, and they've all got their hands on their hips. You said they're fatigued, they are tired. And quarterback keeper Peyton then pitched out to that's Joe Brunson comes in for Junior, and Joe Brunson, he gets the first down on his run. A great run by Joe Brunson as he is forced out of bounds about the 24-yard line, looks like from here. So, yeah, the 24-yard line. So Joe Brunson in for Junior, and Joe Brunson gets a first down run on his That's his first carry tonight, I believe.
It is, yeah. And that's a triple option, and that time different guys filling in for the fullback and the running back. That time it was Madaleska for the fullback and Joe Brunson doing his junior impression as he lowers the boom on the Northview defense on that run.
And it's a fumble to play as Peyton hands off. I believe that was Joe Brunson once again. It was Joe Brunson, but Joe recovers his own fumble and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Second down, 10-20 left in this ball game with Baker on top, 32-14. Second down and 10 for the Gators. Ball just inside the Northview 25-yard line.
Good awareness by Joe to jump on that ball quickly after the mishandled handoff.
And Junior now back in there at tailback. And Trey Colmetz in the fullback position. And it's Colmetz on the handoff, and he runs into Peyton and then runs into Northview. And they force him back to about the 30-yard line, but they give us forward progress at the 26. Now third down and 11 for the Gators.
There's still going to be a loss there. Just a Northview defense actually won the battle at the line of scrimmage that time, and they find Trey Colmetz, and he just has nowhere to run. It's going to bring up a third and long here, and we'll see if they try another pass in the flats again to Peoples or in score.
9:25 left in the ball game. Third down, 11. He has in score and Peoples to the left. Peyton goes to the air and threw it really kind of between in score and Peoples. Not sure what happened there offensively, but the ball goes incomplete. And now Baker faces fourth and about 12 from the 26-yard line.
Yeah, not sure if one of the receivers ran the wrong route or if Peyton just wasn't quite able to put enough juice under that one. Regardless, it's going to be a fourth down, and the Gators are, of course, going to go for it here. And don't be surprised if we see another shot at the end zone or, again, one of those screens that have been so successful for the Gators.
Yeah, clock stops now at 9:14 in the ball game. Baker 32, Northview 14, and it's a Baker timeout, and we'll take it as well.
Football fans, the best games are yet to be played. Make plans to attend the 2018 Florida High School Football State Championship Games hosted by the Central Florida Sports Commission. The intense action takes place at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, December 6th through the 8th. Tickets start as low as $12. Come out and watch the best in Florida high school football play. Visit the FHSAA website at fhsaa.org for more information. And you are listening to the 2018 FHSAA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
This radio ministry relies heavily upon its gracious supporters to survive, like Days Tire Pros in Crestview. In addition to tires with a national warranty, they have a complete car care center, providing brake jobs, front end and rear end alignments, oil change, lube and filter, shocks, belts, air conditioning, and so much more. Days is located where they've been for nearly 4 decades of service on Highway 85 South, which is also home to Pack Rat Mini Storage. The phone number, 850-682-5088. Thanks, Kim and staff, for your support. Days Tire Pros, home of the hassle-free guarantee.
On fourth down, Peyton Lockville back to pass, drops back, runs to his left, scrambling for his life, and going to be sacked and brought down about the 39-yard line. So on fourth down, the Gators unable to convert. And so Northview, they stop the Gators and take over first and 10 at their 39-yard line, but they have only 9 minutes to go in this ball game. They're down by 18 points.
That's several times where we've seen Northview just come after Rockwell on a pass like that, and the line is just not able to give him any time. Rockwell's running for his life. He gets fatigued as he hits the near sideline, and then Northview just slams him into the ground, and they'll take over here with decent field position in the fourth quarter, down 18.
Yeah, first and 10 from the 39, and Killam back to pass. Now scrambling, he's running from Sean McLeod and Eric McQueen, now in score in pursuit. And finally he goes to the air, finds a man open downfield. He's got his man. He's to the 30, the 25, and finally knocked out of bounds near the 15-yard line by Kenny Williams, John Medaleska, and Trey Colmetz. And there's a flag down back at the 44. So this play may be coming back, and it is because Coach Brunson is whistling for his players to come back this way. But Seth, what an impressive play by quarterback Seth Killam. Runs for his life, outruns about 3 or 4 Baker defenders, And it's an eligible receiver downfield, and Northview coaches, they are very unhappy about that call. But Killiman makes a great pass to his open man who outran about 4 defenders from the 40 down to about the 15-yard line, but it's all for naught as they bring the ball back to the 34-yard line.
And I love Killam's tenacity right there. It looks like a busted play from the get-go. He's running to the near side here to the right and turns around, sees that he has nobody open and Gators in his face, runs all the way to the opposite sideline. Looks like he's going to tuck and run. At the last second, throws and finds that man running across the field, but the ineligible receiver is going to bring it all back, and now they'll have first and long to work on.
And this time, Killam, quarterback keeper, and he finds some room as he's out to about the 45-yard line before being tackled by the Gators. And just a great run, and Killam showing a great burst of speed. It's a 10-yard run, but brings up second down and about 5 for the Chiefs from their 44.
Yeah, Killam, a senior, a great quarterback and running back there, and runner. They're definitely going to miss him next year, but there he goes on first down, making some plays with his feet.
And now Killam back to pass. Good protection. Throws the ball downfield, and it's incomplete. Great coverage there by Trey Colmetz. And Kenny Williams, incomplete pass, stops the clock at 8:06 left in this ball game. Baker on top, 32-14. 3rd and 5 for Northview back at their 44-yard line.
That's a great pass from Killam, trying to hit his man, but the receiver, unfortunately, with the hit, just not quite able to bring that one in to pick up the first down. And so now a 3rd and 5, and we'll see if they try to pass downfield once again.
Again, shotgun formation for the Chiefs. High snap, Killam pulls it down, hands off to his running back. He fumbles right into the hands of number 62, Carter Mason. It's a Christmas gift come early for Carter Mason. The ball just is fumbled right into his hands, and he is brought down after a short run. He gets to the 30-yard line, but wow, what a play by Carter Mason.
If this had happened next week, I'd call that a Thanksgiving miracle, but instead there, Carter Mason with great awareness. That's the thing about this Gator defense, is they have such great awareness at all times of where the ball is. Carter Mason, that time coming from the defensive tackle position, sees that ball in the air and immediately gets under it, picks up the fumble, and takes it several yards and gives his offense great field position for this next drive.
Yeah, 1st and 10 from the Northview 30, and shotgun formation for Rockwell. Hands off to Junior, and Junior just busts right through that line. He's to the 25-yard line, 26, about a 4-yard run, brings up second down 6 for the Gators, and the clock is rolling. We're at 7:45 left in this ball game. Gators on top, 32-14.
And Northview has really just done everything that you can't do if you want to win against this Gator team, namely 4 turnovers now on the night.
Indeed. Shotgun formation again. Junior McLaughlin on the handoff, and he breaks a couple of tackles, then runs into a couple of more Chiefs, and he is pushed back, but his forward progress stops at the 20-yard line. Be very close to another Baker first down, and it is a Baker first down at the Northview 20.
And Coach Brunson's not liking how long it took him to blow the whistle after Junior's forward progress was stopped. He was definitely not going anywhere for a few seconds and then pushed back and tackled into the ground. And Coach Brunson's definitely not happy that that whistle wasn't blown sooner.
No, it did take quite a while. It did seem like even from up here, but nonetheless, 1st and 10 Baker at the Northview 20-yard line. 7:21 left in this ball game, and Baker leads at 32-14. Now, if they win, they will be home again next week, hosting Jay or Vernon. And last we heard, Vernon on top 27-0 over Jay.
Oh, and Junior, I believe he lost his helmet in that last play, and he's going to have to sit out it down. Whitehead sending him back off the field.
Well, that's no problem as Coach Brunson goes to his stable of running backs and just pulls out another one. It looks like it's going to be John Medaleska in that tailback position. Kenny Williams is the fullback, and your quarterback is Peyton Rockwell. And shotgun hands off to John Medaleska. John bounced off the right side. He finds plenty of room to run. He stops shy of the goal line. And Seth, surprisingly, another flag has come in.
You don't say.
I do say. And
Oh,
another
my
flag.
goodness.
I think every ref is throwing a flag now as now tempers. Another flag. Are they? How many refs are out there? There's about more flags than refs.
Well, I went ahead and threw mine too.
Okay. But now tempers are really starting to kind of flare here.
That's your extracurricular flags right there. And never good, especially here halfway through the fourth quarter in a game that's all but decided.
Exactly. And just now both coaches trying to get their teams just calm down, and the referee's trying to take control there. There are actually about 7 officials out there. I forget during the playoffs there, I guess there's extra officials.
And all 7 flags, I believe, were out of pockets. The first flag was a holding call. The White Hat threw that one way back here. But then the rest of the refs threw flags as Madaleska neared the end zone, and there was definitely some pushing, shoving, maybe some exchanges of words there at the end of that play.
So while they sort it out, there is 6:47 left in this ball game. Baker 32 and Northview 14. And still awaiting for them to let us know what's going on.
I'm going to have to see how many offset each other and what will actually stand after the fact. Just a heavy amount of discussion out there right now.
And just to remind you one more time that if Baker wins tonight, they will host next week either Jay or Vernon. And last we heard, Vernon ahead 27-0. They have played both teams during the regular season. They got by Vernon 19-6, shut Jay out 35-0, and now finally we're getting some kind of explanation on these penalties.
So we got one holding call and then several unsportsmanlike conduct all against Northview, and with the ball already at about the 1 yard line, I believe all that may happen is some ejections here.
Well, that's sad. Even though the loser, the ejection, I don't see how that could affect them because the loser has no more games tonight.
Right.
Now, if it's against the winning team, which at this point Baker is in command of this game, it could affect them. If it's the same kind of punishment as in college where you have to sit out the first half or 2 quarters of the next game.
Right. And I don't think any of the penalties were actually against Baker, but several against Northview, and Northview is actually going to take a timeout to sort out the rest of this.
They take one, we'll take one as well, and be back after this.
For the latest official news about Florida high school sports, including results of all rounds in the 2018 FHSAA Football Championships, visit FHSAA.org, the official website of the Florida High School Athletic Association. That's www.fhsaa.org. Catch live and on-demand postseason coverage of Florida high school sports at www.nfhsnetwork.com. Brought to you by the NFHS Network, the official online partner of the FHSAA. You are listening to the 2018 FHSAA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
Milligan Assembly of God is a proud sponsor of Baker Gator football. Our service times are on Sundays at 9:30 for Sunday school, 10:30 for morning worship, and 6 p.m. for Sunday night explosion. Our midweek service is on Wednesday nights starting at 7 p.m., and there's something for every age group of the family. You can connect with us at mag.church, and you can check us out on Facebook. From Pastor Mike White and the congregation of Milligan Assembly of God, we want to say,
Go Gators, yeah!
And welcome back. And after the timeout, finally getting back into play here. Baker, first and goal. The ball at about the Northview 2 yard line. There is 6:47 left in this ball game, and Baker leads it 32-14. And John Madaleska gets the handoff, gets the ball. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Baker Gators.
Madaleska actually gets his 4th touchdown of the season with that touchdown run there. Well, he got a little extra push from the Northview Chief trying to make the tackle. Actually helps propel him into the end zone there. And Madaleska adding to the Gator lead tonight. And this one might be all over but the crying.
Indeed, you're right, Seth. 6:41 to go in the ball game. And Baker with a just a decisive lead here, 38-14, and just what a fantastic run by Metaleska. And now Caleb Simpler comes into the Baker lineup. For the extra point is Brian Holly. The holder is Peyton Rockwell. There's your snap. The ball is down. The kick is up. It hits the goal, the upright, and bounces to the outside. And so it goes no good, but still the Gators on top 38-14. And I don't know, Seth, sometimes it just, that ball just takes some funny bounces.
And I don't think you can appreciate how accurate of a kick that is. I mean, he nailed the goalpost directly. I mean, the force of that shook the entire goalpost. That's actually still a pretty good kick. While Brian Holly, it's not going to count for any points, but still a solid kick. But I believe you have a pretty impressive couple of scores here.
Yeah, real quick, Navarre over Escambia in the third, 20-7. Crestview just demolishing Pine Forest, 42-19 in the fourth. And one we're interested in here, in the third, it is Vernon shutting out Jay 40-0.
Wow.
So it looks like it's going to be a rematch between Baker and Vernon next Friday, very possibly.
Should be a stellar game.
Should be. And we're set for the kickoff by Brian Holly. 6:41 left here, and it's 38-14. The Gators in the lead. Pooch kick by Holly. Fair catch called for by Jackson at his 41. And Northview takes over down by 24 points.
Score from Navarre?
Yes, sir. Navarre up now 34-14 over Escambia.
And Navarre having a great season as well. And now as they move on deeper into the playoffs, doing this part of the Panhandle proud.
I'm not real sure, but I think the winner of Navarre Escambia will play the winner of Crestview Pine Forest. I think that's correct.
If that's the case, that will be an excellent rematch. As remember earlier on the season, Navarre came back from, what was it, a 28-point deficit?
In 28-0 deficit. Quarterback, keeper by Kilmy, drop back to pass, and he slides into second base.
And that's actually Ben Wilson.
You're right. It's right. Ben Wilson in there, quarterbacking now for the Northview Chiefs. But Ben Wilson slipping down. As we mentioned, a lot of rain this week, and the fields are right. Seth, is a final score now from Bluntstown. The final score is Port St. Joe 17, Bluntstown 12. So Port St. Joe knocks out Bluntstown. Ben Wilson through the air, and it's intercepted by Derek Peoples, number 11 to number 11. And Derek Peoples with an interception at the Northview 45-yard line.
I'm not holding this hand up for a high five. That's 5 turnovers tonight for Northview. 2 interceptions, 3 fumbles, and their offense just absolutely falling apart. Peoples with his second pick of the night. A great play there, but very unfortunate for Northview on that down, just to add insult to injury.
Yeah, I mean, it's the playoffs, and it's winner goes on and loser goes home, and Northview with what happened, they had a great win last week against Gracefield, and then the story of Deviante Richardson, who is, as far as we know, is doing better each day, but still just tough on Northview tonight. And Seth, they start out strong.
Yeah.
The first quarter, they played like a man on fire, and I thought those could really give Baker a run for their money here, and did play well that first half. But this second half, it's been pretty much Baker, and now Sam Croson has come in at quarterback to replace Peyton Rockwell with 6:01 to go in the ball game. Baker 38, Northview 14, and Sam Croson under center. And hands off to Trey Colmetz, and Trey picks up about a yard out to the 45-yard line, or 44-yard line, second down 9 for the Gators.
And Trey, as you said, one of those slew of running backs that Coach Brunson has to choose from. Now he gets to come in with a few other of the backups that are going to get some playing time here at the end of this second round of playoffs.
Yeah, Ashton Morrison comes in as a receiver, and at fullback now, I believe, is Garen Mitchum. Handoff again goes to Colmetz, and Colmetz finds a hole there for just a second and is brought down by Northview. after about a 2 or 3 yard gain. He's to the 41. Brings up third down and about 6 for the Gators.
Coleman's another, like I said, a great runner for the Gators. 25 carries on the year, 135 yards and a touchdown. And now it looks like Joe Brunson's coming in. We'll see if he gets a touch here on third down.
And that tackle made by Tyler Kite for the Northview Chiefs. Yeah, Cole Metz is at running back and Joe Brunson at fullback. And it is Joe on the handoff, and he runs right into the line. Breaks to his left side, but is brought down. And this time tackle is made by 52. That is Lance McLaughlin for the Chiefs. So now fourth down and about 6 yards for the Gators back at the Northview 41-yard line, and clock is rolling. We're at 4:20 to go in the ball game. Gators on top 38-14, and looking to close this game out with a win and look to next week's game against either Vernon or Jay, and looks like it's going to be Vernon. Colemetz hands off, or keeps the ball, pitches out to Trey Colemetz. It bounces off the ground right into Trey Colemetz's hands, and Trey Colemetz fighting for the first down marker and is pulled down on the far side, and he loses the ball, but I believe it bounces out of bounds. But when things are going your way, they're just going your way. And
I guess so.
Yeah, Sam Croson pitches out, and it's a short pitch and hits the ground, but bounces right into Trey's hand. And so Trey, I believe he was shy of the first down. And so Northview takes over 1st and 10 from their 35-yard line with 3:53 left in the ball game, and Baker on top 38-14.
Yeah, what a strange turn in there. They were trying to do that triple option play there again, fakes the handoff to the fullback, and then Sam has the option to pitch, and he does, and the pitch just doesn't quite make it to Colemetz, takes the bounce, and Colemetz with the awareness to pick it up and try to make something out of it, and it's about as close as you can be to the first down without getting that first down. Northview will take over, but Baker's going to call a timeout here.
And so do we. We'll take a break and be right back.
You're listening to the 2018 FHSAA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
WTJT would like to thank Jason Norton and Baker Metalworks for allowing us to bring live Baker Gator football coverage to the listeners of WTJT. Baker Metalworks offers a large variety of colors, and they are all Energy Star rated. They have 4 profile styles with 29 and 26 gauge. They also have delivery available, and all of their materials are Florida product approved. Baker Metalworks is located at 5846 Highway 189 in Baker. They can be reached by phone at 850-537-2010. Thanks again to Baker Metalworks for all of your support here at WTJT.
And welcome back. And Seth, looks like Coach Bunson putting some of his young players in the defensive lineup, but keeping some of his veterans in there. And on a short pass by Northview, Nathan Fleming there to make the tackle, and another Northview player is down on the ground, Seth.
It didn't look like the Northview receiver made the catch there. I thought he picked that one up off the ground, but no, did make the catch, and Nathan Fleming with the big hit, and it looks like a serious injury for this Northview player now, and we'll see as the training staff goes to assess him.
Let's take another timeout and be right back after this.
You are listening to the 2018 FHSAA Football Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
WTJT would like to thank Harris Fence of Baker, Florida for their support of WTJT and live coverage of Baker Gator football. Harris Fence offers a wide range of fencing services and supplies which include chain link, galvanized or vinyl coated, wood, privacy or picket, PVC, privacy, 3-rail, etc., and ornamental aluminum. They also offer various styles and brands. They do residential, commercial, and industrial work as well as offer free estimates and military and senior citizen discounts. Harris Fence is fully licensed and insured, and they have been serving Okaloosa, Walton, and Santa Rosa County for 21 years with 35 years experience. They are also a member of the Better Business Bureau. Harris Fence is located located at 1588 Garrett Mill Road in Baker, Florida, and they can also be contacted by phone at 537-6169. Thanks again to Harris Fence and James and Rebecca Harris for your support of WTJT and our local football team.
And welcome back to Baker. On 2nd down and 6, Ben Wilson throws the ball out to his receiver, Jaden Jackson, who is quickly wrapped up by Trey Colmetz and dropped for loss back to the 40-yard line now. 3rd down and 6 for the Chiefs. Wilson back to pass and goes for his receiver, trying to hit Adam Aliff there, and the ball goes incomplete. Brings up 4th and 6 for the Chiefs back at their 40-yard line.
And luckily for Gators, that's a bad pass out of bounds. Actually, as Aliff made his cut, Sam was a victim of the swamp grass here and slips down. And so that's going to bring up a 4th and long here. And obviously Northview will go for it and just try to have something positive to end their season on and end their playoff run on.
3 minutes exactly left in this ball game, and 3 minutes exactly left for the season for Northview. Wilson trying to pass, no one to throw to, and he goes down and is brought down by the Gators. And I believe that was number 60, Joshua Gamble, who takes him down. Also got some help from number 25, that's Seth Plahuta. And so the Gators force a turnover on downs and take over 1st and 10 at the Northview 37-yard line with 2:52 left in the ball game.
That's great work by some of the younger players. They're getting their playing time, and they're still making plays here late in the 4th quarter. Game well in hand, coming up with a sack there on the backup quarterback, Ben Wilson.
Yeah, and now Sam Croson again in at quarterback. And Brian Holly comes in at tight end. And handoff goes to Trey Colmetz. And he dives ahead for a couple of yards to the 35-yard line. Held up there by the Northview defensive line. And brings up 2nd down 8 for the Gators from the Northview 35. 2:35 left in this ball game. And Baker leads at 38-14. They have no timeouts. Northview has 1. Don't really foresee Coach Brunson needing a timeout this late in the game, but
no,
nonetheless, 2nd down 8 from the 35-yard line, and again, Sam Croson under center. And a whistle and a flag. Handoff was to Trey Colmetz, but most likely it's going to be a legal procedure against the Gators, and it is.
Yep.
That'll back him up 5 yards, and we'll bring up 2nd down and 13 from the 40-yard line.
It's just one of those penalties that the Gators have struggled with all season and just still haven't been able to completely clean up here as they've progressed now. They've gotten through 2 games deep into the playoffs, so hopefully something they'll be able to continue to work on and maybe polish out by the time they get to the championship if they get there.
Now shotgun formation for Sam Croson. And another flag as he hands off to Joe Brunson. And wait and see what this flag is for. A legal procedure against the Gators. And Seth didn't mention earlier, but, looking across the crowd, Baker, the stand's not quite full, but a lot of folks here to support these Gators tonight. And looking across the field, Northview brought a nice crowd with them as well.
Good to see.
Always glad to see fan support. We appreciate our fans and listeners on WTJT as well and jockjive.com. Clock is stopped at 1:45. 2nd down and 18 for the Gators. Ball back at midfield. Shotgun formation for Sam Croson. Hands off to Joe Brunson. Joe runs head first into a Northview lineman and is stopped for about a half-yard loss. Brings up 3rd down and about 18 yards from the 45.
That's a zone run for Joe, and his offensive line just gets absolutely no push. The Northview defensive line is in Joe's face almost immediately and drops him for no gain. So 3rd and long here, and as we near the minute mark, I don't look for us to see too much more out of the Gator offense as they try to let this clock run out.
Yeah, Sam Croson again hands off to Joe. This time Joe finds a hole and picks up about 2 or 3 yards. Stopped at about the 43-yard line, and so that's going to bring up 4th down for the Gators. And now timeout taken by Northview, their last timeout of this game, and the clock stopped at 58 seconds. And we'll take it as well and be right back after this.
You are listening to the 2018 FHS AA Regional Semifinal on WTJT 90.1 FM.
Hi, this is Tony from Baker Feed and Country Store. The Baker Gator football season is back, and we are proud supporters of WTJT's live Baker Gator football program. Baker Feed and Country Store has all your fall food plot seed and fertilizer needs, along with corn, rice bran, pellets, and blocks. We carry Justin boots, belts, wallets, and Wrangler jeans. Baker Feed and Country Store is located on the right at the light in downtown Baker and can be reached by phone 537-1000. Again, that's 537-1000. Go Gators!
And welcome back. Baker facing 4th and about 16 from the Northview 44-yard line. 58 seconds left. Shotgun formation for quarterback Sam Croson. Joe Brunson in motion. Pass out to Joe. Joe puts out a stiff arm, but he's brought down at the 45-yard line. So Northview takes over on downs with 51 seconds left in this ball game. And now some of the fans starting to head out. Baker on top 38-14. They beat Northview earlier this year 35-7. And will beat them again tonight for the second time this season. Yeah. Really a sloppy first quarter, and Northview just really coming out and giving Baker a real test in that first quarter, and then after that, Baker kind of got on track and finally started taking control of this ball game. And Seth, we're just going to have at least one more penalty against the Baker Gators.
Well, there's still 50 seconds left, so there's definitely time for a couple more. I like the fire out of Northview calling a timeout, making the Gators run that last 4th down play, and now give their offense a chance to get the ball. And this is so crucial at the end of the season, something to build on into next season.
Empty backfield, Ben Wilson going deep down the field and trying to hit his man. That was number 14, Adam Aliff, well covered by Joseph Bird and I believe Nathan Fleming.
I don't think Aliff actually saw the pass. It looked like he had his head turned. The ball was just sailing over his head out of bounds. But now, as I was saying before, I like that Northview now has a chance with these last few seconds at the end of this playoff game to end with something positive, something that they can pull from as they head into the offseason and when they prepare in the spring again to see how they need to combat next season.
Exactly. Ben Wilson again to the air. Hits his man, this time on the far side. Breaks one tackle, and then he is popped by Nathan Fleming. Knocks him clean out of bounds, but what a nice pass, nice catch, and then what a hit by Nathan Fleming. But it's a first down for Northview at the Baker 26-yard line. But, wow, that looked like it hurt.
Fleming hit him like a brick wall. Just absolutely stopped him.
Lit him up like a birthday cake. My goodness. Wilson back to pass. Going downfield again. Overthrows his man. He was trying to hit Tyler Ray. Goes incomplete. And brings up second down 10 from the Baker 25-yard line.
I don't want to call that an overthrow because Ray got his hands on it. And if I remember the infamous words, or maybe the famous words of one Lee Corso, you touch it, you catch it.
True. But now Tyler Ray looks like he's about 5'6" out there, so he had to really make a leap to bring that ball in.
That is true.
28 seconds left. Baker on top, 38-14. And again, Wilson back to pass. Falls incomplete. And Sam Croson there on the defense, just in case. And now brings up third down 10 for Northview. Ball at the Baker 25-yard line. And there's 22 seconds to go in the ball game.
And Northview determined here at the end of this second half, end of this playoff game that's going to end their playoff run, to try to put up a score here, and I admire them for that.
Exactly, and they're playing for their teammate, Durante Richardson.
Durante Richardson, yeah.
playing for their teammate who was struck by a heart attack last Saturday morning. He's hospitalized, doing better each day, but that's not been released yet. And again, our thoughts, prayers with their family, and Northview played the night for him. As you notice, the entire coaching staff wearing the number 10 jersey, which is his jersey, in honor of Richardson. Ben Wilson on fourth down, back to pass. Good protection, throws it deep downfield. Intercepted by Sam Croson, and Sam brings it back out to the 5, cuts back across the field to the 10, to the 15. A flag comes in. No surprise there, and Sam Croson goes down under a pack of cheese, and another flag comes down. There are 2 seconds left in this ball game, Seth, and there's still flags flying.
I mean, there's been so many penalties tonight. I think Sam Croson at that point was just trying to run about back and forth across field to get this clock to run out. Almost does it with about 2 seconds left, but I think there was a block in the back, I'm sure, over there on that sideline, and then it looked like an extracurricular flag was thrown as well for something out of bounds. So just senseless penalties here at the end of a game.
Exactly, Seth, and you hate to see it come down to just so many penalties in a game of this magnitude. And sadly, it's going to end for Northview here while Baker will advance, be at home next week. Either Vernon or Jay comes to town, and most likely Vernon from the last score we saw, which was 40-0 over Jay.
Yeah.
And that was not a final score.
But it might as well have been.
Right. So now while they sort this out, they are marching the ball back to the Baker 5-yard line now, marching it back towards Northview. And still waiting. And they're going to place the ball, looks like at the 20-yard line. Pick the flags up, and now there's no timeouts for either team. 2 seconds to play, and I look for Sam Croson just to take a knee here and get this game behind him and into the history books.
Yes.
In that famous victory formation goes Sam Croson, and that's going to wrap it up. Baker advances to the next round of the playoffs. They defeat Northview 38-14 and will play either Vernon or Jay. As we've said it already, most likely Vernon from the last score we saw. And so, Seth, while the teams go out and congratulate each other, what's your last thoughts on this game tonight?
You know, we talked about it a little while ago that Northview was really able to stick with Baker, and it looked like they were going to give them a seriously difficult game to overcome early in the first quarter. Actually led the Gators the first time the Gators have been led all season early in that first quarter, but they were just not able to sustain that level of competition for 4 quarters. And that's been the story for just about every team that the Gators have faced this season, is able to maintain a stiff level of competition for about a quarter, maybe even a half, but just not able to keep up that ferocity for 4 quarters, for 48 minutes, and match the Gators' intensity. And that's what we saw tonight, is once the Gators got that lead in the second quarter, I believe 18-7, after that it was just pretty much gone as the Gators created that separation in the second half and just really began to run away with it. McLaughlin had another banner night. He looked like he was slowed down a little bit, but then he met his stride, and I believe into the night with about 3 touchdowns. Also got to see some other Gators score. Sean McLeod with the interception return for a touchdown. And then a couple other Gators on defense. Peoples with 2 interceptions, a couple of forced fumbles recovered by Kenny Williams. So just another banner performance from this team that we've come to expect such excellent from. Penalties are still an issue, and tonight was really one of the worst penalized games I believe we've seen all season. It just seemed like every few minutes some kind of flagging. A lot more unsportsmanlike conduct penalties tonight, which I consider senseless penalties that just should not be happening whatsoever. So really hoping the Gators are able to iron these out, because next week Vernon is going to be a tough game. Vernon was the team that, will remind you, held the Gators to 19 points, the lowest of the season. Really found a way to slow down Junior McLaughlin, and with the running back they have in Quan Powell, like we talked about, a fierce runner, next week is going to be a challenge, and it will hopefully prepare the Gators for what is to come as they continue to march further along in these playoffs toward the state championship.
Indeed, you're correct, Seth. And we look forward to you, our listeners, tuning in to WTJT or JockJive.com. We also encourage you to come out, support these Gators. Come to the ball game, sit in the stands, and support these Gators. Once again, your final score is Baker 38, Northview 14. Next week at home, game time 7:30, either Vernon or Jay. Most likely Vernon comes to town. We'll see you then. For Seth Forehand, I'm Mark Forehand. Have a super safe weekend.